The Boston Major returns, and already it has been quite a wild ride. We did move to the Wang Theatre after a 2-day hiatus, and already we have had our fair share of surprises and close games. They may be 2-2-0s, but they do not tell the whole story, and I do have some storytellers joining me on the panel as well. I'm your host, Alex Machine Richardson, this time joined by Marlene.
Storytellers.
Yeah, you're storytellers. Yeah, I think I can imagine you telling a real good story, Marlene. Have you ever read a bedtime story to someone?
No, I tell stories, though.
You do tell stories?
I have some.
You have?
Some of them have been immortalized on YouTube, so I would rather not share.
Okay. maybe you'll tell us some new stories today. Sure. We'll find out. It is a theatre after all. And you're laughing at me. Screw you, Winter.
I have a story about an Englishman challenging an Asian man to chess.
Yes, yeah. I said if I win, you have to give me $1,000. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
And then if I lose, nothing happens. We shake hands. We shake hands. That's a good bet.
That seems like a good deal.
Sounds like IG Vitality versus VP odds.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
hey,
well, look at how that
game.
turned out.
Yeah.
I know.
So that was actually kind of a compliment. I'm taking that. I'll take the IG role in that one. Sheev joining us as well, looking radiant. How are you doing today?
Doing great.
Yeah.
I mean, we just watched an amazing series already, and as you already said, the 2-0 doesn't really tell the story, but I think the time for 2-0s is over. Now do we move on to the other side of this leg of the bracket?
So you think things are going to get a bit closer from now on?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So, that sounds like a compliment towards Complexity and Warriors, because that is our next series. I should probably go ahead and remind you that is what's coming up now. To recap what you may have missed, it's Virtus Pro and, of course, EG, those storylines. I mean, you were casting that one. Just to quickly jump back into that storyline there, Marlene, you got to witness that firsthand. Quite the turbulent journey for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, I think that I was talking to Fog afterwards. We're like, wow, they probably could have lost that game. And Wings played very, very well. I thought the fight on bottom would have turned things around for them, but then EG just got their shit together.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect way to summarize. I see you nodding, Sheev. That just seems like the best way to summarize.
They actually got their illusions together.
And we were sitting in the talent lounge, and Complexity was watching with us as well. And they're like, oh my God, Wings wins this. And then, EG happened. And then, well, the ending wasn't really very, it was a bit of anticlimactic ending, but it was just Luna and illusions and just a well-played draft, really.
Just Luna.
Well-played double damage runes.
Yeah, well, I mean,
too.
I think you might have some inside scoop then if you were hanging out with Complexity.
I wish.
I'll bite your tongue. Oh, there is. Okay, never mind. No inside scoop yet from Complexity. I assume they were probably in the zone, ready for this game. Probably in the zone now because they're about to meet the crowd. The Wang Theatre is about to witness both Warriors Gaming and Complexity as they prepare for their series.
This all-Malaysian squad vanquished both Fnatic and Mineski to secure their ticket to Boston out of the SEA Regionals. Competing in their first event outside of Asia, they are redefining expectations, both at home and abroad. Lethal in the late game, mid laner Nana is a force to be reckoned with, and this fledgling team is well on its way to success. Welcome on stage, Warriors Gaming Unity. The Friedman brothers suffered a major blow at TI6, but have persevered in the face of adversity to make their way here. Resolute Captain Melons is not one to dwell on the past, and his fiery leadership could be the catalyst his team needs. Boosted by the addition of TI6 runner-up Moon and introducing retro mid-player Cancel, they are here to carve their future. Welcome on stage, Complexity Gaming.
What a scary concept it could be for WG. Certainly not something they've seen too much of. Their first event, it said in that video, their first event outside of Asia, and now they're sitting there with a live crowd and their name being chanted by them. Now, Winter, you've met them, you've played against them, you know these players better than most. Warriors game, your first thing you said in the pre-show, this was a while ago now, I have a relatively good memory, not really, but you did tell me these are players to not be underestimated.
Well done, you actually remember what I said.
Yeah. Occasionally, I do that. But talk me through these names. You told me I can give you a story for each one, so let's start with that far left corner.
Far left corner, Ajit, a pretty new carry player. He plays mid as well, like he plays two roles. He's a Meepo player, he's a Naga player.
Intimidating.
Their captain, Afu, so I think probably their most experienced player. He's played on a couple of different teams, Mineski. He went to Philippines to play for some time.
Kang?
He was around. Kang is, I think he's also one of the oldest players on the team. He played in a lot of like tier 2 Malaysian teams. He was part of my team, but I wasn't in the team back then, but he played for our team for 3 to 4 months. He plays offlane, he plays carry. Now he plays offlane for this team.
And I mean, when it comes to kind of head turners, Shiva, you look towards that result, surely. You look towards the surprise full best of 3 versus Wings, right? I mean, who stood out there?
It was, in that specific series, it was Ajit that was playing Phantom Assassin in both games.
Sure.
In both games, he went 16-something, and he got 16 kills, 16-3 something,
Well,
16-7
when you say
something.
Phantom Assassin, I remember something about this team. They're not afraid to give draw away to their opponents. They like to pick PA and TA up. Phantom Assassin and Templar Assassins against the draw.
Oh, so they're not afraid to
fight the draw.
Interesting.
Yeah. They had very fight-heavy games, and at that point, Wings wasn't ready for it. They did lose the first game and the games that they had after that as well. But, you know, they had a good showing against Wings.
So did you say Nana is the man behind Meepo?
No, Ajit plays the mid.
Ajit is, okay. Well, fortunately, Nana is going to be telling us a little bit more about himself. Word on the street is Slacks managed to grab him, and let's see what happened there.
Hey guys, here at the Boston Major with WG Unity's Nana. How you doing, man? I love your name, Nana.
I'm good.
Okay, good to hear. Tell me about your journey up here. What did you have to do to make it to the Boston Major? How did you accomplish this fantastic feat?
我们之前打过 TI 预选赛，结果就差一步就能来了，就很不甘愿，然后就很努力的打，终于来到这个 Boston 了。
What was the biggest thing you guys had to overcome to make it this far? You're a new team. New teams have to iron out a lot of stuff.
所以说在预选赛就可以说是没输过一场嘛，然后我们也只是拿到第2才进到这个 qualify。
Yeah, sure. And that was scary, right? But you guys did it. Well done. Who won you those games? Was it your seriousness? Did you do it? Who led the team?
当我们输了一场过后，我们其实士气很低落，然后我们的 sponsor 就老板把我们全部 group 在一起，然后就讨论怎么去赢，然后就赢了。
How's the morale of the team now? Are you guys unified, or you a little nervous coming up against the other teams?
还算团结吧，就有些还有一点紧张。
Okay, cool. I like talking about your teammates. I think that they're funny and good guys. How do you feel about your teammates? Do you like them?
我也觉得他们很逗，就很喜欢。
Tell me about your teammates, each one of them. And give us an introduction, because I want the world to know a little bit more about WG Unity.
他其实是一个 carry， 他打1号位的，就他本身是一个很懒惰的人，但是他很有天分。然后 Kangaroo， 他是劣势路，他本身也是很容易紧张，然后会很容易犯一些错误。然后还有 Snova 跟阿福。阿福是一个很努力的人，然后建伟是一个很认真的人。
I want you to talk about yourself. I know it's difficult. I know that it's something you don't want to talk about, but the world needs to know about Nana. They need to know your story. So just tell me about yourself and what this means to you, this tournament.
这次是我第一次打编就嘛，然后我想尽量表现一下自己。想证明一下自己是可以到这个 international。
Huh? I think you do, man. You guys have proven yourselves so far. It's been pretty amazing. So, all right. Well, I hope to see more of your journey, and I'm sure the rest of us are as well. We'll keep that support up. And there we go. Feeling good, man. You feeling good? You ready for this?
很兴奋。
All right. Okay. Well, there you go. That's Nana from Team WG Unity. And we'll be seeing you guys go head-to-head in the rest of the Boston Major. Thank you.
Nana and co ready to go ahead and show what they can do on the big stage. Winter, some of these players are actually ex-teammates of yours. Did his summaries sound right? Nova, a serious player. Afu, talented but lazy.
Yep,
Or Ajit, excuse me.
Pretty much, like they were very accurate of when I played with them, and I think that this team is very unified because they have the right blend of players. They have a serious player, they have a lazy player. Just kidding, but they work like a team very well.
It's like our desk. Yeah, we've got some lazy people, got some hard workers. We've got a bit of everything here, and of course you've got the looks in the middle.
Oh, thanks.
We're both in the middle.
I think he
Such a I was actually talking about Ben.
Oh, what? We're both in the middle. There's 4 people. Whatever.
Okay, fine.
Keep going.
We'll move on. We'll move on. Because Warriors have to have an opponent, and it's none other than Complexity. These boys have been roaring. I think we actually heard them through our headsets getting hyped for that walk-on. There's definitely no absence of noise when it comes to Complexity, Ben.
Dude, they were screaming multiple times, not just once. I heard them through these noise-canceling headphones. It's pretty nice.
Definitely melons, right?
Definitely melons.
I mean, they're a very emotional team. Like when they win, you can see like their energy popping off. And I think getting ready that way, getting hyped that way is good. They had a very friendly vibe about them when they were watching the previous series in the lounge.
Was there any actual analysis going on, Shiv? Were they actually kind of breaking it down?
It was not really. It was more like, oh, Wings won. Oh, Wings lost. And then there was talk about swindly melons and about how me and Odie Pixel, who's going to commentate this match, should call swindly melons.
Oh, you have to go for his full name.
Yes.
Apparently. And there he is on your screen. So despite this whole Zen situation, but. Yeah. Aside from that, though, Ben, there is more to this team than may meet the eye, right? I mean, taking 2 series versus EG is not a feat to be laughed at in any way.
Especially considering their past. Their past, they just struggled with them all the time, and it was pretty much just written off as a victory for Evil Geniuses for most of the time. That was, I would say, before this, like even more certain than some of the results that we've seen. But yeah, I think their change.
Melon support, that's the biggest
Melon
change.
Support is the biggest change and is the biggest benefit to them. Like, it's huge how much of a difference it makes.
Did you say, does it really feel like it looks like a new team because of the shift?
Yeah, almost all teams have captains as a support.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling to think of more than a few.
Yeah, probably. Almost all the teams.
Almost all the teams. And he was playing mid lane before and then off lane and now finally support. And now I think his team is having amongst the best results that they've seen.
Well,
especially when he plays Leshrac. I mean, everybody can rally behind him, and you can coordinate everything properly from a support position. I think that is a great benefit.
I mean, his Trian was also really good the other day.
Yeah,
positioning and everything he did in the team was superb.
Well, I mean, every member of Complexity is going to be under a great deal of pressure, and there is one person in particular who's going to be under some slightly extra pressure because his parents are in the crowd. Moo from Complexity has got both of them there watching, and they're going to be checking out his interview because that's what's coming up now.
Hello, everyone. I am here with Moo from Team Complexity. Good old Moo. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
All right, good, good. You and me go way back, man. I remember Archon days, right?
Ooh, ESL New York.
That is correct. Why don't you tell me about life from that Moo to now Moo? Current Moo.
This Moo gets paid.
Is that the big difference? I mean, you've grown a lot, as not only as player, but I believe as a person. What's it like being a champion? It's number 2.
Not a champion.
You're close enough. You're NA's champion.
Close to a champion.
You're close to a champion.
It feels good.
All right, good. There it is.
I feel accomplished because we went into TI with low expectations, to be honest. And then we kind of stormed through group stage. No one expected that. And then somehow just made it far enough.
What's it like being a role model for people?
I don't think I'm a role model. Like the reason NA is salty is like this bad stigma around it. Like everyone kind of like, you read like all these comments about how you're bad and you're mean and stuff. And they only really see you like interact with your stream after you've played these 4 games that someone's fed every game. And like then you just kind of lose your mind.
Yeah.
They don't really see you as a person. They see you as your in-game Dota personality. When you're complexity gaming. You have a different thought when you think of EG and complexity gaming. We watched the broadcasts and everyone thought like we had like a 5% chance to win, which I think is ridiculously low for any team in the tournament to win against another team. I don't know. It feels good that we won, but it feels bad that people think of us so lowly like that, and we're here and like we're not new players. We're all experienced. Like even Cancel has been on a professional team before, like Kaipi. And as many people might not consider that a professional team, it still is.
Sure.
Like I don't know.
No, I mean that's a really interesting and good point. I mean, just because you guys won of an upset, the fact that people thought that it was going to be a giant upset, kind of not feel so good, right? I mean, how do you get rid of that though?
It's just win. you don't think about it, and you just win. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what the public thinks of you. It's what you think of yourselves and how you interact with each other, and if you can keep a positive mentality.
So what do you feel about complexity? I know you guys are tight, right? You guys are like buddies over there.
Yeah, we like to consider ourselves the frat team.
The frat team.
Yeah.
Okay. I need a definition. Why is it the frat team?
Let's just say if our walls were not as thick as they were, we'd have some noise complaints.
Okay. Just because of how rowdy you get, or what?
Yeah.
So do you hang out a lot when you're not in games? Are you all very friendly with each other? Yeah.
We spend most of our time in our practice room, just hanging out, playing games together, just Dota together. We have some casual beers and stuff like that.
One thing about complexity is you guys seem to have a great support staff. You got guys like Chef Josh. You got guys like Beef. Tell me a little about those guys and the impact that they have on what you guys do.
I think it's really important. They make sure that we don't kill each other when we're mad.
That's good.
Like we do get upset. When we lost the first game of both series to EG, we were pretty upset with each other and ourselves, and they made sure to come in and calm everyone down and made sure like we stay focused and go on to the next game and focus on what we need to learn instead of killing each other. Chef Josh lives with us. He's here with us. Beef lives very close, like 5 minutes away, and comes to almost every event that he can. Just supports us in our everyday life.
Cool. All right. I want to know a kind of a deep question, a little serious one. But what is being here at the Boston Major? What is playing Dota? What is all this to you? Why do you do it? I mean, it's a lot of work. You play all day. You live with a bunch of guys. I mean, why? Why put in all this effort?
It's fun. Like I couldn't imagine my life not doing this. I think I'd be pretty upset with myself. Before I started playing, I was just started college and living an pretty average life. Part-time job, going to college, just did homework, slept, Then I just one day just gave it up in the semester. I was like, I really don't like this. I'm really upset. I'm not happy in my life. And I tried it, went to ESL New York, and I like that. I didn't win any games, but going there and experiencing what it's like to be in esports and all this stuff, and then going to a major, even though it was a Shanghai major, it was good.
Still a major.
It was amazing. Like just seeing all the personalities every day. They all are really friendly. They all support the pros. They all know how hard we work. I know how hard all the personalities work. You especially.
Oh, Thank you. Wow. All right. I was going to ask other questions, but I mean, that was just a beautiful end. So maybe we should just end it here, man. You guys are going in against some heavy opposition. However, it seems like you definitely have what it takes to make this tournament your own. What are your plans going forward? How can we continue to see Complexity grow?
It's don't let the victory go to our head. Like we beat EG, and then I'd say we got pretty cocky going in against LGD.
Granted.
Didn't prepare as much, didn't think about our drafts, didn't really think about our play in the beginning. We just kind of went in, played some pretty sloppy games, got frustrated, went in the second game, just lost like instantly. And, like then we were like, shit, we need to like go back to what we were doing and be humble with ourselves and work really hard going into the next series. And we did. We woke up.
There you go.
So, do that every game, and we will be good.
Is losing sometimes good for a team?
Losing is definitely good. I'd say it's really important that we lost the first game every series.
But you can't lose anymore. Single elimination, man. I mean, you can lose the first game, but don't... Be careful, right?
Not a fan of single elimination, but you are correct.
All right, well, we'll see if they have what it takes to keep up this amazing spree that they have, but it's not too unbelievable because Complexity hasn't always been one hell of a team. We'll see some more from you guys and Moo coming up in the Boston Major.
The pursuit of dreams. Moo making a lot of opinions abundantly clear and also reminding us all that they are human. 5 humans playing for $3 million, playing their favorite video game. It is, of course, Dota 2. Complexity almost feeling like it was unjust. Some of the criticism hailed towards them, and there is some of the biggest fans of Complexity, or at least Moo.
And he's no stranger to injustice. He was kind of given the AUI treatment after TI, where AUI won TI and then got kicked shortly thereafter, and this time he was second place and got kicked. I would say maybe unfairly, but we don't know the internal workings.
And they're no stranger to roster shuffles as well. Very relatively recently, waved goodbye to Justin and brought Monkeys in. Does this feel like a big discussion topic to you guys?
It's very difficult to see obviously how it works in the team. I kind of feel like it might have been better for them this way. I feel like they have a better shot maybe. They seem more like one team than they did before. They seem strong, they seem confident. And maybe because they know they are the underdogs, purely because of this change, they know how to improve and how to work towards a goal together. And basically, you know, their loss united them, if you will.
And from what I heard, that Justin like kind of brought their team mentality down a little bit, and even Swindles wasn't able to keep it up. So what I heard is get a new personality or get a new team, and it was the latter for Justin.
Yeah.
Replaced. And one of the individuals we're going to be highlighting, we can bring it up, it is, of course, our featured matchup. Before every game, we like to highlight 2 on the same role, and we chose Carry. It is Moo and his counterpart, Ajit.
Yeah, Jit, like I said, they played an amazing PA, but like Winter already said, they are okay letting Dro Ranger through. And Wings is a team that likes to pick Dro Ranger. Jit won against Dro Ranger. Those are the only 2 games they won. And then I don't think that Complexity, they don't really pick Dro Ranger, so I'm curious to see how much of an effect that is. And Moo, it's really interesting because obviously he comes from the off lane and he rotated into this safe lane core, and he is still very active. He's still a bit of a playmaker from this position as well.
Well, he's like your friend Bulldog. He takes up a lot of farm on
He
the
does.
offense.
Yeah, but
so when he goes to the carrier, sweet, even more farm.
and now he can justify, you know, on the carry, give it all.
Now it's allowed. Yeah. It's more justified, his farming. Well,
It definitely is.
with that said, I do want to start navigating towards where these predictions lie, because I don't know how clear-cut this may be to you guys. Complexity, their victories versus our EG, I assume, have kind of marinated you in as a bit of a North American fan here. Malini, I'm looking at you.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Complexity.
You are?
I like Complexity chances a little bit more. I think they had a tougher road, especially given how poorly Wings have performed. I think the expectations for Wings were maybe a little bit too high going into this major, and any of the games I think that they didn't like super impress me. Maybe a couple of fights here and there, but overall, and not really winning any of their series very convincingly.
Now, this could be interesting. Winter. I don't know. I don't want to suggest bias at all, but your region, ex-teammates, you got faith? You have to, don't you? You feel like you have to. Okay, so we're going to get... Is that one for Warriors?
Sure.
Sure. Are you guys...
so much
There's like zero conviction there.
Yeah, come on, Winter. You don't believe in your brethren?
But coL did play really well, like to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
be
they
honest,
played
yeah.
really well, so they're definitely the favorites here.
Yeah.
But just for faith.
Just for my region's
For
sake.
your region. And because he wants to, be able to say hello to his friends again on Warriors after this one. Shiva, I'm assuming you're going.
I'm going for complexity.
Okay.
It's fairly clear to me, and that also the games that they won, both of the teams lost the first games in the series and learned from that, and obviously came back in the victory. But I think that complexity is more diverse than WG Unity is, so I'm going with complexity for this one as well.
Sup, Alex?
So I guess, Winter, I love you. You do. I mean, you're my Iceman, but I really feel like Malini and Shiva have made a good case here, made a strong case.
We also watched a lot more of complexity.
We did
games
see,
too.
in the defense of Warriors,
Yes.
we only really caught the Warriors Wings result. Prior to that, they didn't really manage to do too much when they met again. How was their result versus? I'm trying to find it. DC. I think that was quite a convincing
they
win.
got crushed.
They got
Yeah.
crushed.
Yeah.
So that's what we've seen from them. We've seen some crushings and one surprising win versus Wings, who actually have been eliminated from the tournament now.
I watched WG in the qualifiers, and they were surprisingly good in the qualifiers. I'm watching the majority of their games, and they beat Fnatic, which were top 6 at TI, and no joke, no pushover at all.
I mean, all the qualifiers that have happened so far in terms of the international qualifiers, the Manila qualifiers, WG Unity was always the team to look out for and see if they're going to be doing well if they're actually making it through to the qualifiers. But they never really made it. They never really made it to the end of the playoffs.
They're a bit like at Finland.
Yes, they're
they,
very
they tried
comparable.
many times, but this time they made a risky move, I would say. They swapped out one of their long-time players, went into the sub-role, and they took in Kang, and worked out much better for them overall.
So is Kang an unknown entity then?
Kang and Exno are both of them. He's not an unknown entity, but it seems somehow the team fits better with him. I think I would say he's a much more skilled offlaner than Wen individually.
So with the draft just moments away, Malini, we have to surely start addressing what's going to be coming from complexity. They have this, it seems to be described by many as a very fast pace. This surprised EG, managed to bring those surprise results the second time around. What are your expectations when you're coming into the draft, complexity versus Warriors? Is there anything that's at the tip of your tongue?
I think the bands need to focus out cancel.
Okay.
He played Marana and OD for the majority of the qualifiers, and even before that, he spams that in pubs. We see it all the time, and he owns on those heroes, just straight up owns almost every single time. So maybe ban one, take the other. That's the approach that EG took. Yet they still lost. Maybe ban both of them.
I think they might, if they give him OD, they will pick something to win the lane, like Sniper, someone that has a very good matchup, because they usually utilize Nana very well in terms of giving him a good matchup. He crushes his lane, and they snowball from there.
Well, it looks like the draft has begun, and that's another SD. We've got a 100% pick of Shadow Demon so far in the playoffs.
This team is also very fond of SD, back when I watched them play a lot in SEA, so no surprise there. coL are the ones that actually removed the draw.
Taken away from them.
Yeah, and Elder Titan as well, which they did play a bit against Wings, but Wings actually banned it out against them as well.
So a hero that we almost never see, and let alone first phase, Winter Wyvern. I've really only seen her picked up against Drow Ranger, and there's no Drow Ranger in the game. Sometimes
or against Lifestealer Slaughter.
Yeah.
A lot of physical, massive physical damage. Or they're trying to do some of their coL strats.
The
axe.
Winter Wyvern axe.
Yeah, I don't know.
coL strats.
Yeah, they're the only ones who does it double jungle.
They
It was
love
pretty
that.
good.
Splinter Blast can get rid of illusions real quick, so if you're worried about Shadow Demon illusions, then that's a good one to have, right?
Okay. Brainstorming.
But then again, that hero is extremely weak in the laning phase. He does not offer much to zone the enemy offlaner or roam around. You basically you're picking the hero knowing that you're going to sacrifice your early game, but you're going into the mid game with a very strong support. His spells are very good in the mid game fights, the curse and the coL embrace.
I am rolling my eyes because it's happened again. That same duo.
Yeah,
The partnership.
but like Ben mentioned, Wyvern is pretty good against those illusions and the aura from the Luna.
That's what she said.
Sorry. That's what
Credit where it is due.
But
Sorry,
I like the Marana
Shiva, my
pickup.
bad.
No, it's okay. It was a good point to make because I made it too. Thanks. No, Marana picked up when we talked about it. Cancel plays a mean Marana.
Yep.
And even the games that they lost where... Cancel played Marana 4 times, 2 wins, 2 losses. Even the games that they lost, he was actually doing really well before
This
getting
pick is very
run
good
over.
for coL because they pick the hero on 2 roles. So when you open a draft, you want to have heroes that can fit in multiple positions for your team because Z-Freak plays the hero as well, and he's one of the good mid heroes to deal with the Shadow Demon illusion spams as well with the Aghanim's. So all in all, pretty good pickup here for coL. Okay. And they removed the Tinker, which is also one of the Nana's favorite heroes. Like Tinker, Storm, he likes to play those heroes.
Tinker and Alchemist have both been taken away by Complexity. No more of that Alchemist gameplay.
Yeah, they don't want to play like a drawn out. Like in the game that they beat Wings, they played a very drawn out game, like Tinker plus Luna as well. Like the game went till very late and they had very good late game and it became very difficult for Wings to deal with them. But Wings in the end still won the game, but I think they won because they were the better team, but they didn't have the better strategy in the late game.
And there's the Spirit Breaker again.
It's back.
This is their offlane hero, right, Ben?
Z-Freak played it as well. Monkeys played it once and Z-Freak played it once. So Z-Freak actually has played only different heroes the entire event so far.
Oh, so their heroes are basically very open. Mirana and SB are played by multiple players on their team.
Well, wasn't everyone very impressed by Z-Freak's Rubik? Was that the one that really turned heads the most?
Yeah. Z-Freak's Rubik,
Z-Freak's everything.
Yeah, he's definitely, I think, in my opinion, their best player on the team. He's really good.
Yeah. Would you not say, though, that it is going to be a cancel Mirana, considering the OD is already banned and cancel plays
a lot of Mirana?
Yeah, and it's still pretty open, though. But then again, it's really good to have, if you have some off-lane SB and you have a mid Mirana, it's easy to set up kills, charge into arrow. A lot of pressure on the mid laner. They might need like a mid laner that's more difficult to kill, like someone that has maybe escape or very tanky.
Okay.
All right. Well, with the Luna and Shadow Demon, I guess that's something that Complexity can really prepare for because that is such an obvious combination to go for. Still, so Complexity has something in mind. I'm curious to see what Warrior Gaming has in mind because how can you prepare for the draft that Complexity has so far?
You win the laning phase really hard. I think that Spirit Breaker is kind of weak as a support, even weak as an offlaner, and then Winter Wyvern's especially weak as a support. So you need to make sure that you don't give free kills to the Spirit Breaker Mirana. And then once you do that, you'll buy time for your Luna to get big. Timbersaw, one of the better illusion clearing heroes. It's on the side of Warriors Gaming. Solid laner overall.
Still open for them as well. They could put him offlane, they could put him mid, but mostly they play this hero mid on Nana.
Nana's taking Saw?
Yeah, very likely, but it's still possible that they do it off lane with +1, like Timber +1 off lane. Like Warriors Gaming are also a team that prioritize a lot on winning their lanes. They want to have a good time in their laning phase, and coL right now have a little weak lanes because of the Wyvern pick.
Couldn't they just Darkseer and just kind of win most of their lanes though, and have better team fight? I'd be scared of that personally.
Yeah, that too, but Timber is really good because it allows you the flexibility. You can still put him mid or off lane. Whereas if you draft the Darkseer, he pretty much has only one way to go about it. You have to put him on the off lane.
So less predictability by picking Timbersaw.
Yeah, yes, so you have much more options. You have a lot of things that you can change.
You can be responsive.
Yes, whereas for coL right now, they are pretty much on the being very aggressive page with those 3 picks. They're going to put a lot of pressure.
If we're going to assume that the heroes are Cancel and Monkey's heroes, respectively, Mirana and Spirit Breaker, what would you like to see from Moo if you're going to have a lane with the Winter Wyvern supporting you? Is there? We've seen him play Weaver a lot as well.
I like Ursa though. They're on dire side, they can maybe use that, and Ursa fits the bill of running around.
They are going color coded,
guys.
I'm very happy with this.
Wait, is this a core Lash, Ben?
Swindles has been playing Lash.
But then that's a Wyvern.
Yeah. I think Core.
Core Lash.
I think if he's farmed enough, he can actually deal with the illusions. I think Lushrock's actually an excellent illusion clearer.
And it's very good against Timber Saw, because against Timber, you don't want to build physical. You want a spell hero. So you force the Timber to get maybe an early hood. You get an early hood to deal with it, so you can't really get your Bloodstone earlier and snowball from there.
I'm going to be really upset if Complexity choose someone that's not blue.
Their heroes are...
I need another blue hero, please.
But still, their heroes are really open-ended. They could still lane these multiple ways, play in different roles. And for Warriors, it's pretty much easier to guess what they're trying to do.
Okay.
For your sake, Alex, I think maybe a Sven would be in order.
Yes, that would complete
it
the
would
set.
mean that it's not a core Leshrac, but at least it's blue, you know? And you got something to pair off.
That's what I'm here for,
so.
the top tier analysis. Make it blue, please.
Warriors, on the other hand, they might want a green hero, or Spirit. I know they like to play the hero. It's pretty good at dealing with the Winter Wyvern, because in the team fights, when you're focusing one target, you don't want him to save the other target, so you can silence him. But this is also one of the heroes that they like to play a lot. Conquer, just very old school things with SD Luna Conquer. We don't see that a lot anymore nowadays because the combo has been significantly nerfed. The Torrent, you don't deal so much damage now. But still, it's pretty good in team fights with the Luna. You have the Bolt and the Eclipse. You can negate a lot of the damage coming from, say, a coL Leshrac. So
this is a lineup that Spirit Breaker doesn't really want to charge into. I feel like you're just going to die.
Spirit Breaker.
Conquer, Timbersaw, Luna.
You run in, there's a Bolt, there's a Rolling Death. It's not a fun game for SB if you don't have a BKB.
Does that mean he's more likely to be support?
But then again, look at their heroes. So if he's support, then yeah, I guess they can still do it.
But if he's support, he's never going to get a BKB.
No, if he's support, then Lash is going to be like what, carry, like safe lane and then Mirana mid.
Or off lane.
Yeah. It's like a bit weird though. I don't know.
It is fun that we are this far through the draft and still not sure where everything's going.
It is really the thing with coL's lineup. You really do not know how they're going to lane this and how they're going to put their roles. And once again, coL banning out all the Nana heroes, the Tinker and Storm. In my opinion, two of his best heroes.
They're still waiting for that the mid hero to come out.
They're expecting the Timber to be off-lane Timber. That's why they ban out the Storm. But I still think that the Timber could still go mid depending on matchup. Maybe they were figuring that if we pick Lash and the enemy team might think we are laning Lash mid and Timber doesn't do very well against Lash, so they're expecting the Timber to be an off-lane Timber.
We should address this now, Ben. Leshrac is starting to be picked more and more in this draft. I remember just when we were doing the complexity desk, oh, Leshrac, that's rare, it's very unique to complexity. In fact, in the Slacks interview, they said, oh, we pick it because it's similar to a hero from a different game, and we liked it. That was literally their explanation. It has a stun and does damage. That was their summary.
He's good in the lane. I think the hero is really good in the lane, and he provides one thing that most of the position 5 supports do not do.
What's that?
He pushes towers. None of the position 5 supports do that. They are mostly either like Dazzle, they heal you, or they have like AoE ultimate like a Disruptor, but none of them actually push down towers. It allows you to snowball and play faster. In this meta, we always talk about if you play fast, you put the enemy on pressure, it's really good for your team.
And it also, they've also tried the other ones, like I say, Shadow Shaman, which we saw lose. And
that's an Omni Knight, by the way, Ben.
Yep, I saw Omni.
That's a good way to deal with the Winter Wyvern ultimate, because when he curses your teammates, you can pop the GA and you negate all the damage coming from that.
But how are you going to lane it?
It's an off-lane Omni Knight,
okay.
And Timber is going to be mid.
Which is what you suspected at the start, right?
Timber, mid-Timber.
And WG Unity banned out the Juggernaut, so they were still expecting a core, and it is a Weaver. Is that in blue enough?
That's blue enough for me.
Yeah,
I'm happy. Yeah, they've won me over. Complexity.
Good.
Yeah, that was it. My prediction is justified because they've gone full blue, just like you. Woo. Hey, I'm a poet, and I didn't know.
But I'm also happy. I see the draft now. I'm happy with my prediction, sticking to the Warriors draft.
Hey, you're happy with that one?
Yeah.
Was it the mystery? What was it that sold you?
I just like their overall drafting. The whole package, having the team fight heroes.
Okay, so we expect big team fights from Warriors. It's going to be a bit of a battle there. Complexity are the favorites of the desk. We'll see what the casters have to say about this one because our draft is done. It's our third series of the day. We've already waved goodbye to 2 teams, both Wings and IGV. And now to find out who our third on the chopping block is, it's your casters. It's none other than OD and Gods to guide you through this battle.
Thank you very much, Alex. Indeed, we're getting ready for it here in the theatre. Complexity Gaming going up against Warriors Gaming. I'm OD Pixel, I'm here with Gods. We're seeing the draft, and Gods, as you pointed out, Complexity with a sort of bleed blue strat here with their picks. It's all blue. What's going on, Gods?
Not sure. You haven't got the memo. This is the wrong team for the blue strat, but it's definitely a team that is in red-hot form when it comes to Complexity. Their dismantling of EG in the group stages put them on a high, put them on the radar for a lot of Dota 2 viewers out there, and they are a team to look out for in the main event, and probably pretty happy with the matchup. They got WG Unity. They upset Wings, but ended up not looking dominant in their group. They got beaten pretty badly by DC, so definitely agreeing with the overall panel where Complexity come in as favorites.
I mean, these drafts indeed, very, very interesting things to see. Complexity first picking up that Wyvern as they talked about in this finisher, getting moved on that position 1 Weaver. In terms of lanes, though, what do you expect we're going to see? Because there's a lot of flexibility from both sides here, isn't there, Gods?
Yeah, I guess the question is, does either team want to go for the aggressive lane? But so far it looks like Kang is going to the offlane on the Omni Knight. and it's going to be the offlane of Monkeys on the Spirit Breaker. So no aggro tri-lanes. The big difference in the two offlaners, Spirit Breaker can get active early. We saw Monkeys play some very weird offlaners like a Bounty Hunter in one of their games. He wants to gank, he wants to roam around. For Warriors Gaming, Omni Knight, he doesn't roam. He sits in the lane, he leeches XP, he comes online much later than the Spirit Breaker does.
Oh, we'll see at the start. I mean, both teams having a few members down towards the bottom rune, but
Complexity actually looking like they might dual lane down bottom. They've got Z-Freak with a Null Talisman. Theoretically, he could look to partner up with the Spirit Breaker and pose a threat to the Luna's laning stage. It would at least tie the Kunkka a bit more to that bottom lane, but we'll see if that's going to be the plan. Z-Freak already heading towards the top lane now.
All right, so this mid lane matchup, Cancel on Mirana up against, of course, Nana's Timbersaw. Do we expect to see a hero kind of run away with this lane, or is it just going to be a case of even trade with the farm?
Pretty even trade. Mirana's right-click damage doesn't really harass or zone a Timber very much. Timber just stacks up the reactive armor, so there's no way to really zone him. We'll see a very even matchup between the two. If anything, maybe even ever so slightly Timber favored, at least initially, with all the reactive armor he can get.
Bottom lane, we can see Monkeys just hiding in the trees as we're trying to sap XP. But this dual lanes at the moment coming up from WG Unity against this 3-1-1 from Complexity.
Yeah, this bottom lane's kind of lost their creep equilibrium. The range creep's already died on the Dire side, which means it's going to push out, so they'll be forced to either do a side pull here, or they're going to be giving Monkeys a lot of XP. It looks like Monkeys should be in for a pretty good time as far as being able to get some XP out of this lane. Already going up, Shadow Demon's getting a bit aggressive at this bottom lane.
Oh, got the disruption.
Missed this round though.
Yeah, simply just trying to force Monkeys away from it. Top lane, meanwhile, though, Complexity moving in with the tri-lane. Kangaroo falling incredibly low. They'll look to chase him out. He's trying to juke it, but he's already used his spells. And Swindly Malones will take first blood, bringing down Kangaroo.
Yeah, he's not on the Leshrac we've been seeing. That's in Z-Freak's hands, but still on point with the Winter Wipe. An immediate TP back. There is a lot of experience waiting for them in this top lane, but that's something Swindles is already looking to deny with that side pull. And that's 3 range creeps. That's a lot of XP. Those range creeps, you don't want to lose those as an offlaner, but damage has been done, and it looks like Kang is going to struggle to get as much XP as he'd like out of this lane.
And we can see already Z-Freak just maximizing efficiency, getting the stacks done. We'll be under the watchful eyes of that Radiant Observer Ward, though, so Warriors Gaming are going to know what's going on.
Yeah, because of the stack, he gets the rune late, so it will go the way of the Kunkka, but just an illusion rune, not something Kunkka can make too many plays off of.
Top lane again, just a lot of harassment onto Kang, trying to minimize the experience that he's able to gain from this offlane. And talking about offlanes, down on the bottom, over to the side of Complexity. Monkeys, again, level 3, not finding a lot of CS. Looks like he's having trouble getting close and personal with this ST Luna lane, and now with the pools, Warriors Gaming able to secure a little bit of a better momentum to make sure that Arjit has the safety to get that farm he needs.
Level 3 is a lot for an offlaner this early on, and that's, I think, partly why they want to rotate Lesh down here. They feel they can get kills.
Z-Freak not able to quite get in range there for the follow-up stun. And now Warriors Gaming just turning to fend him back off. Z-Freak, we'll see how much he wants to hang around down here. I mean, how much can this Lesh get it done? Can he rotate towards the mid and look towards Nana, or is that just a gank that's not worth using resources for at this stage?
Probably lacking the damage to get that kill. Cancel has gone for the double arrow Starstorm, hasn't got any points in the leap, so they have got a bit more damage output, but he's going to be stronger paired with the Spirit Breaker. Shadow Demons and Luna both very squishy in this lane. There is the potential disruption save, but disruption could also set the split earth, so you've got to be very careful about how you use that spell.
Top lane again, though. A bit of a skirmish going on between the two. Arfu and Moo both falling low. Moo's starting to sell, but they can't get anything to tick it off, and it's going to be Complexity taking down one. Now look towards Kang as well, but with the Purification, it will be enough to allow him to walk off. But this top lane, it's kind of all falling apart here for Warriors Gaming, giving away 2 kills already in the first 3.5 minutes to Complexity.
Yeah, really nicely played. The coordination between Swindles and Moo is on point so far. They've gotten 2 kills up here, and WG's offlane is just kind of struggling here. Omni Knight has managed to hit level 4, so it's not really hurting their overall strategy too much, but it is giving Complexity a lot more than you were perhaps hoping for, with Moo already off to a good start, 18 CS, and helping out in 2 of those kills. Now you see the overall CS, there's 3 green numbers up there, all CSing well, so I think overall WG Uni can't be too upset with this laning stage despite the kills they've given up.
Absolutely, that mid lane matchup, 23-4 against the 12-3. That's an absolute win at the moment for Nana. They need to do something about it. They have brought Z-Freak across. He's got an arcane rune, so we'll see if he's able to get a couple of stuns out potentially.
I think without a third hero, this is just not a viable kill. He's already got the 15 stacks. If he's starting with 0, you can go for it, but a third, potentially fourth hero is needed. Winter Wyvern is coming from the top room with a smoke.
He's got an infused raindrop as well. It's such a hard hero to gank.
Bringing in number 4, it's a Spirit Breaker charge.
They're committing everything for this one. They need to make it work. Complexity Monkeys to lead the way. Overfly Swindles. They'll get the follow-up stun for Z3. Looking for the arrow. They do get the connection, and with that, they should find the kill. It's a hard one, but they do get it done. Complexity committing 4, but it's the right call to make as they crush the mid, who was already crushing Cancel, doubling the CS of that Mirana. They needed to shut him down.
Yeah, great call from Captain Swindles there, making the solo smoke rotation, but he already had the 2 heroes coming in from bottom, so completely catches Timbersaw by surprise, and that is a much-needed kill because of that CS discrepancy you were talking about. Does free up that mid lane a bit for Cancel to catch up a little bit. He even goes back in the jungle to get an arrow off, so really nicely played there.
Up on the top lane, at the moment, Arfu just hiding in the trees. Swindles will spot him out. It looks like Complexity are going to try and make a little bit of a go. The Splinter Blast not going to quite clip onto Arfu as Swindles just continues to whittle down that stack that he's got created by the side pull. And at the moment, as you said, even though the kills are going the way of Complexity, farm-wise, the edge certainly is still there for the side of Warriors Gaming.
Yeah, a lot of Radiant Vision, though, scouts out the aggression of Z-Freak and Monkeys down here. They should know fairly well where they're positioned down here, so WG Uni shouldn't be getting caught by a surprise. Shadow Demon is ready to defensively disrupt as needed.
We'll see if any of these runes are going to be huge in terms of play. There's a haste rune up top. No one to look to get it yet, but this could be paramount for the side of Complexity to continue to find another kill, which they need to do. Losing the farm game at the moment, they need to find something in return. And mid lane, that's going to be potentially where they have their eyes on again. Monkeys already moving into position.
Be careful about the aggression now. Luna's hit level 6, so there's that potential for a TP in with Eclipse. That's one of the probably big ways for WG Uni to turn around some of these ganks that Complexity seem to be very keen to kind of set the tempo early with the rotations. Seen the Winter Wyvern move Spirit Breaker, is hit level 5, so he's ready to get active.
And again at top, trying to chase down Kang, but as you said, even though he goes down the first few times, because he's still got that XP and he's nearly reaching onto level 6, it's becoming a very hard hero for just the Weaver and the Wyverns to do anything about. Meanwhile, in the jungle, Ajit trying to not mess around, pops the Eclipse, but Monkeys able to charge away, and that's going to be the ultimate on cooldown for a good couple of minutes.
Yeah, that's really big when you can have that ulti come out, and now you've got 2 minutes where you don't have to worry about it. If you go diving for a kill in mid or at top, there's no threat of a Luna TP in with Eclipse. She could theoretically TP with a Lucent Beam. She's going aggressive bottom, and yeah, no escape for Z-Freak. Easy setup and kill there.
Yeah, they may not have been able to take down Monkeys, but good rotations from WG.
I mean, overall, this early game's been really solid for the 2 WG carries, like the mid and the safe lane farmer. Both of them are top as far as overall net worth goes, and it's only really the supports who are perhaps a bit on the poorer side. WG Uni, despite giving up the kills, did manage to outlane Complexity.
I mean, you can just tell that by looking at the CS of the Omni Knight. He's nearly got the same as Mu. It's 31 at this stage of the game. The farm that he's found on this offlane, considering the fact that he was taken down twice, is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and now he's level 6, so he's got Purification, Repel, point in degen. He's saving a skill point in case he needs an ultimate for some kind of situation. This is where WG Uni get very scary if they're grouping up to push towers. Ideally, they group up as 3 or 4 and still try to maintain this farming efficiency that is giving them the advantage over Complexity.
And mid lane, just Nana playing incredibly aggressively, making sure to keep Cancel in his place.
One of the maybe limitations of coL's draft, they're very magic damage heavy, which is normally good against a Timber, but we could very easily see, I mean, Nana's got the raindrops, could just rush the straight hood, and then he gets very tanky and hard to kill. Mid lane.
Cancel trying to play his way out of this. Has got the Moonlight Shadow. They've dropped down a sentry. And not enough follow-up control to bring down the Mirana, so Cancel will be okay.
Showing respect to the potential for rotation from some of the dire supports there as well. Never know when that charge is coming in. Speaking of charge, Monkeys has that with the Nether Strike. He's hit level 6, so his threat for ganking gets that much scarier.
And one thing we've got to consider as well, when the team fights do begin in a full scale, as you said, this Timbersaw is going to be hard to kill. Just the backup that they've got, the defensive capabilities. You've got an SD there for the saves, an Omni for the saves. You're going to have the Kunka's Rum on you as well. It could be incredibly hard for Complexity to find those quick pickoffs with the magical damage that they've got when the team fights do start.
Yeah, we'll likely have to see someone even rush a defusal earlier than they would like to.
Bottom, no. Hang up our Jet. Coming for a couple of attacks. Monkeys is going to hold back, look for the ultimate to set up onto the Luna. Luna falling low, needs some sort of help. Is she going to get it in time? She's not hard yet to fall. Arfu trying to turn around with the X-Mark Torrent combo onto Monkeys with the rotation from Nana. They'll take down the Spirit Breaker. Arfu falling low here to the Pulse Nova, but he's got the repel. Will start to walk it off the right click from Cancel. One more as he jumps forward, will find another. It's 3 for 1 at the moment here. Complexity coming out on top. Now chucked out by Cancel, but it's not going to connect. Kangaroo Nana forced back, and coL will take the trade there. 3 for 1. Both teams bringing everyone down to the bottom lane for that fight.
Yeah, and the most important thing is Complexity were there before the aggression even came. Mu was hiding in the trees, ready for the dive. And it's important to have to kind of anticipate your opponent's movements rather than react to them. If you react to that aggression by TPing in with 2 or 3 heroes starting with the Weaver, you're not going to get those kills. But because Mu is already there, throws the Swarm immediately as the next TP comes, Complexity got the numbers advantage, and Mu was able to chase down, get the initial kill on Luna, and then even get the Shadow Demon in the backline. So great decision-making from him to be ready before the aggression even came.
And a couple of different calls being made here by either side. Warriors Gaming, off the back of losing the fight, still want to make use of the fact that they've got the majority down here and are looking to take a tier 1, but at the same time, Complexity, they're farming up in all lanes, pressuring the mid-tier 1 themselves. So we'll see who's able to get a favorable trade. Warriors Gaming will finish off the tower bottom, mid lane. We'll start to TP over to look to defend it. Arfu with the eyes onto Swindles. Isn't able to get the vision for the X-Mark. Tries for a blind Torrent. That won't connect. So the X-Marks bringing him back into Kangaroo's arms, and also more coming across, but Cancel spots the Moonlight Shadow, make sure that Swindles can flap his way back to safety.
Yeah, we'll get Swindles out, but it's a pretty long cooldown to be using. Charge coming in mid now from Monkeys. They want to go, but Kang is a difficult kill. They want to secure this mid tower.
It could be messy. There's a fair few members of WG towards the mid, and indeed Monkeys holds off. It was a nice attempt, you know, as we saw. They used the Moonlight defensively, but coL said we can maybe try and use this against them and surprise them with an attack.
And now bottom lane Complexity, they see heroes mid, they're immediately pushing again. This is something that Winter mentioned Leshrac has over other supports, his pushing power, and we're seeing it here. That was a full HP tier 1. Zefric just swoops in with a level 3 Edict, and it's gone. That took no time whatsoever. That's a big punish from Complexity. WG getting really put back in their place for 5-manning a bit too much. We saw them 5-man at bottom, now they're over towards the mid lane, and that's kind of how you want to play against this, is make sure you're getting more on the other lanes away from WG Unity, and then at the, if you've got everything in place, then you defend, but if not, you go for that split push play.
Absolutely, and at this stage of the game, you've got the pushing power of a Luna, but on a support hero, so trades are going to favor your way if you find the opening to do so. And we can see mid already just pushing onto the tier 2. Zefreak isn't stopping.
Again, he's got the level 4 Edict this time. He's a little bit scared, seeing a few heroes missing on the map, knowing he's very squishy, and will back off. But that was some good damage onto that tier 2 as well as the tier 1 bottom.
Mid lane Complexity will finish off the tier 1 mid. X-Nova and Arfu coming in for the defense, and already around the back of it, Kangaroo comes in with a purification, bursts down. Monkey's low, Mu will get brought back here by the X-Mark. Sentry was down, but nothing to follow through on it. They will get the disruption, soul catch onto Swindles, and Swindles just melts there to the burst of Warriors Gaming. The rest of Complexity just looking to get themselves back out to safety. Z-Free
again
staying adamant on this bottom lane. Will get the tier 2 down to half health nearly.
Decent damage, Dale. He forced out the reglyph as well, so the tier 1 mid tower reset the glyph, and then he immediately gets it out once more. So now they know if they go for another push or he finds himself in that position to play the split push game, there's no glyph to worry about.
Monkeys. Goes onto Arfu. He does have an ult as well as the backup of Cancel. They'll hit the arrow. Cancel coming in close and personal, and great control and play from the two of them to take down a free kill and allow the pressure to continue on the tier 2 down bottom. Meanwhile, though, Warriors Gaming working on the tier 1 mid. Swindle's going to come across to try and use the Splinter Blast to hold them back. We'll see if they get this one done, and we'll also see if Complexity are able to finish off that push down bottom at the same time. As we can see, the Warriors Gaming committing the more resources in the mid lane here for this push.
Complexity just seemed to be pushing faster because of the Edict. Like, Luna's one of those heroes who takes items before she becomes a real pushing threat, and we're just seeing just the Dragonlance treads for now. I mean, this is not an underfarmed Luna by any means. It's more the fact Luna takes more time, needs 2-3 big items, needs like a Manta, needs more items on top of this to really threaten buildings. And Edict, you don't need items. Level 4 Edict pushes the same at any stage of the game. So we're seeing Complexity really threaten the WG Unity side of the map, and they've managed to get some nice deep wards into that Radiant jungle to perhaps set up some later kills as well.
So WG regaining the control, though. Bottom lane is no longer being pressured upon by Complexity. The rest of the map starting to open back up for the team. But it's complete on Nana, working towards his next item, as we saw it from Cancel. Point boosting, I believe, has got about 2k nearly on top of that. Okay, just 1k at the moment. So still a bit of time before we are going to see the Ags come out.
And the cores for both teams very even on farm. You look at the Weaver, the Luna, they're almost identical. The Timber, the Mirana, it's a small edge going the Timber's way. And Luna has got one Ancient stack there, but hasn't got the Helm of the Dominator, so it's purely relying on supports or heroes to be in the neighborhood to get those stacks going. And that's something which Luna just hasn't had the farm to fall back on because they've been 5-main. They haven't been prioritizing the farming efficiency.
Top lane Swindle's just dropping the Winter's Curse immediately onto the Omni Knight, allowing Z-Freak to finish off the tower.
He's running in.
And they're going to Moonlight get the hell out. There's no detection on WG, and he's going to be able to walk this one off.
Runs forwards through them and out of there. Well, okay. That's what happens when you have those sentry wards, and that's something kind of mentioned earlier. The supports for WG Uni very, very poor because they have to keep purchasing all this detection. The vision game becomes so important, and that's where Complexity have the invis of the Weaver as well as that Moonlight Shadow, which is denting that WG Unity economy.
Z-Freak, of course, working for that Yule Sept as of next. Nana heading across, but again, no catch. They do get the T-Wall by the looks of it. WG over that indeed the Rage in Ancient's area. Mid lane, Swindles and Council. I am Nana. They do have a DD on the Mirana at the moment. Turn around onto Z-Freak though, quickly to hold him back. Nana moving in incredibly aggressively with the Chakram. Actually a little low on the mana front, and now coL looking for the turnaround. Looking for the Nether Stripe, but the torrent will hold back Monkeys and Z-Freak. Z-Freak fully incredibly low. X-Mark back into the Timber Chain and Nana. That's going to be one down on coL, and WG Unity, they're not done yet. Moving on to Council, they'll take down a second. And not a lot of Complexity can do to hold that one back there. Warriors Gaming just running straight down the middle, and coL unable to hold them.
Well, we're kind of past that point where Complexity can 5v5 fight. They made a good hold at bottom because they had Weaver in a good position and they caught WG by surprise. But if WG are ready with 5 heroes, you don't want to 5v5 into the Omni Knight. He's got level 4 Purification. The 2 points in Repel is more than enough. And Nana on the front lines, 1200 HP, reactive armor, and the hood.
Swindles, again, a little bit of a questionable curse there. Not going to get anything achieved with that one as WG just remain in position and hammer down onto the tier 2.
Really hoping to get that Luna to be attacking the Omni in that curse, but every time they see Swindles moving forward, Argent repositions further away.
More money in the bank for WG as they take the tower. They do get the X-Mark into the torrent, back onto Earth. They got the control to bring him down. Yes, they do! Just that little mini stun there with the Lucer Beam holding him back so he can't get the time lapse out.
That's
very nicely timed.
That's such a big kill to get as well. They'd already taken the tier 2 tower, which was giving WG Unity a ton of momentum and a bit of a gold advantage. And now with that kill, it's a high value target as well as another follow-up tower. They're going to get this tier 2 top tower uncontested, no trade in sight. Complexity immediately drew lines down this bottom line, basically saying, hey, we're going to push out this bottom lane. We need to start going back to what was working, which was threatening to split push when Z-Freak was doing damage to the tier 2 bottom. When they're farming the enemy jungle where it's much safer to be right now, they need to avoid WG as much as possible. They're going to TP Omni back. He buys a mech and he's been X back in. This is going to be a mech high ground push.
This push is going to be very, very scary for Complexity to try and deal with.
They've even got a pipe.
They've got it already here, WG.
Nana. Well, have they got the damage is the question. They've got level 4 Disruption, Lunar Illusions. If this tower goes down, then the Bouncing Glaives will potentially destroy them. Level 4 Bouncing Glaives, 6 bounces per attack. You've got to defend this tower. You can't let it get to the rack.
You've got to do something. And Monkeys trying with a bit of an opening just to charge onto Nana. That can easily pop by Kang. Nana stays firm here up on the high ground. They look at the X-Mark Torrent combo once more onto move. Holding him back at the top. Arrow flies through. Isn't going to connect from Cancel. He's heading back over, still just 500 short of that Aghanim, something that is desperately needed for defenses like this. But at this stage, with the pipe on, Nana, you've got to ask yourself how much that would actually change things. Nana moves in aggressively. Monkeys caught in the torrent. The boat flying through as well. Monkeys is down. 30 seconds out on the sidelines in Complexity. They're going to have to hold this one 4v5. Buyback is available, but they move, getting incredibly close to death. They do get the arrow connection onto Kunkka, but the repels there from Kang. The follow-up physical damage is just not there at the moment from Complexity's lineup. They've lost to tier 3, and Warriors Gaming, I mean, they're not showing any sign of leaving anytime soon. They're going to remain in this position and continue to push onto the racks before the 19-minute mark here.
Nana doesn't even have to use his pipe. He's holding it for a fight, but Complexity, they don't want to engage. They've hit an arrow in Luna. Is this go time?
It is a good arrow, but again, the follow-up is so hard to commit. with Kangaroo just sitting on the back line, throwing out the repels and the purification. Swindles himself getting cut down incredibly short. Nana going in deep, has to pop the pipe to keep himself alive. Arjit, though, comes in with the Eclipse, forces Complexity to back up.
That's the ulties, but they're going to get at least a range Rax, and then they're going to back off likely.
Here we go again. Arrow into the charge. Repel again from Kangaroo, making it so hard for Complexity to commit onto one target. Warriors Gaming now starting to back up. Moo chasing down Arfu. Jumped up in the air. Cancel's going to be dropped, though. The first casualty on coL. Z-Freak to fall as well. Double kill for Arjit. There'll be a Winter's Curse coming out to Kangaroo, but the damage during it isn't enough to bring him down. WG move forward for more. Take a third. Nana now on a killing spree, and it really feels like Complexity's draft just hasn't got it in it to hold back this push at this early of a stage.
They picked the Winter Wyvern to try and deal with his pushes. It's not the Winter Wyvern that's failing so much, it's the rest of the draft. Something also mentioned was the Spirit Breaker. You can't charge into this team. There's a Torrent, there's a Boat, there's a Timbersaw. I mean, all these heroes basically make the Spirit Breaker an irrelevant hero. Monkeys has played a great game. He contested that offlane so well, but his hero cannot fight into the WG Unity draft, and now it is a 20-minute top Rax claimed as Complexity have their work cut out for them. They just hit this perfect timing where it wasn't like any of this, oh, let's get Roshan and then we go for the push. WG's like, no, we go now. We just took the last tier 2 towers. We've had just been picked off. They felt like they were strong with the mech plus pipe. These items are really good when you first get them in these mid-game stage. You don't want to just drag the game and go late with these kind of pickups. And boy, did WG Unity punish Complexity there.
Absolutely. It just feels like the timings haven't been there for coL. Going back down to the mid lane start off, the fact that Cancel fell behind and still 20 minutes in trying to finish off that Aghanim Scepter because of the lack of farm in the early game. And then, of course, Moo still desperately trying to finish off that Diffusal Blade, something that might be able to allow coL to get these defensives done successfully. They need to somehow take down the target without having to worry about Kangaroo backing him up.
Yeah, that's the biggest reason why that Rax went down without a fight. It kind of looks like, oh, why Complexity is giving up a Rax without fighting? Well, the only way to fight is to jump one here and burst them down, but that's just not possible versus an Omni Knight. That's what Omni Knight gave this draft, that ability to prevent that single target burst damage. Not just the Omni Knight, but the Shadow Demon Disruption to save. They've got this great saving potential and the damage negation coming from the Kunker's Ghost Ship, the run there. So the possibility to burst down one target just isn't there. They still haven't got the Ag Scepter quite yet completed on Cancel, and because of this, until they get this Diffusal, Complexity just going to have to avoid fights, and even with the Diffusal, it's still very tricky playing around all the heals, because it's not just the Repel or the Guardian Angel, it's the fact there's this heal as well as Shadow Demon Disruption to keep people alive.
Another tier 2 into the pocket of WG. Nana now with the Bloodstone. You really cannot afford to lose team fights now against this lineup. If he starts to rack up the Bloodstone charges, he's going to be nigh on unkillable for Complexity, and that tier 3 push coming in. At the same time, it looks like coL, they're just trying to go for a bit of wrap. You've got two heroes up at the top, Z-Freak and Moo, the best pushers they've got on their lineup, trying to do something in return. Monkeys charging forward, trying to slow down this push of WG to allow his teammate to get something done down bottom, but the combos there from Kunker bringing down Monkeys. The racks are exposed, and WG, they continue to push. Z-Freak and Moo, they may finally back up. Indeed, it looks like Z-Freak, he's going to remain there. Moo's already headed back to try and help out with this defense, but they're losing the bottom racks, and at 22.5 minutes in, Complexity losing 2 sets of racks against WG.
Yeah, Nana TP back just in time to make sure, okay, we're not going to lose our racks for this. We'll give you a tier 3 tower for taking your racks, but you will not trade racks with us. WG Unity, make sure they leave the pushing Luna and then get back and defend. That gives them a monumental lead here. 2 lanes of racks at 23 minutes in. Their lineup scales going into the late game. Timber, Luna, these heroes just touch. What? Luna? Excuse you?
I think he's messing about. That's not how you build BKB.
Oh, maybe in Southeast Asia. Maybe in their surface. I don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
Not here in Boston.
Well, then we have a very, very stacked-looking curry there. Glimmercape coming out. BKB Yules for the members of WG Unity.
That's really the scariest part about losing 2 lanes of racks this early on, is the amount of money you get for it. And coL,
this is the kind of plays you've got to do.
They knew it was coming.
It's not up to a good start, and immediately WG smoke up themselves. They want to try and get the jump on coL, and they may just get it here with this wraparound. We'll see if Complexity are ready for this one. Still under the cover of a bit of smoke, some of the members. At Warriors Gaming, they may just say, screw the smoke, we'll just push in your base and look for mega creeps. I mean, mid lane, the creep wave already pushing up to the high ground.
They need a big Winter's Curse on someone like an Omni Knight to burst him down.
They need an absolutely massive Winter's Curse.
Followed up with like a Split Earth or an arrow to chain stun and get the kill. But even if you try chain stun the Omni Knight, then the Shadow Demon could repel and save him. Very difficult to get that kill.
It's going to have to be an incredible hold. And the start off here, it's not too great. Winner's Curse onto RG. It doesn't achieve much at all. And already the combo coming and catching out Z-Freak and Swindles with the GA, allowing Wings Gaming to move in for more. They've not only just found one, they've forced out the buyback immediately from Z-Freak. Moo trying to draw them out to the back, but the Purification Burst brings down the bug, and Moo does not have buyback here. 24 minutes in. Complexity getting absolutely battered at this stage, running back to the base, back to the fountain. 14-7. Z-Freak to die back as well. He's down for a full minute. And this game, it's all over. Yeah. GG, coL tap out. And Warriors Gaming, 25. An absolute clinical performance from there, from start to finish. Complexity did have a little bit of an up at the beginning. They were finding the ganks, but the farm, Warriors Gaming just out-farming them from the start. They managed to find the timing. As soon as there was that 20-minute push up top where they got the racks, it kind of felt like Warriors Gaming said to each other, hey, we've got this, we can push, and there's nothing that coL can do to stop it.
Yeah, they itemized for that mid-game where they had the mech, the pipe, everything. They were able to just 5-man down those towers, and the first one was stopped. It was starting to look a little worrying for them because Complexity held that bottom fight with some great play, and that's the whole thing. I don't feel like Complexity played badly by anything. No. It was purely down to strategy, where WG Unity had this hero composition that Complexity didn't have good answers for. They needed more time, more farm to come online. Perhaps if Cancel did better in that mid lane, we could have seen the Agcep to come online sooner. That would have made a big difference, but it was the discipline for WG Unity where they didn't sit around and say, okay, we can take Roast and push. They didn't go for Roast the entire game. That to me is the most impressive part about that overall plan, where they just said, we don't need Roche, we're good to go now.
Absolutely, but a very quick game, a very impressive performance from WG Unity, and we'll be able to bring in Alex in the panel here to hear what they have to say about that. So it was it was almost a stomp, really.
Yeah, but that was not what the score or we anticipated, right? That just didn't feel like anyone was expecting to see WG, but in that manner, pick up that win.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people came into this series seeing, obviously, Complexity the other day, taking down EG 2 times, but as a lot of people have said, maybe Complexity is just EG's kryptonite, and at the end of the day, a team like Warriors Gaming can turn up like this and show them how it's done.
Well, you two are quite a Superman pair anyway. We'll be back to you for our second cast. We have to talk about the first one. It was brief. Hopefully these guys have got a good understanding of what did go down. I think we returned to the closing points. We closed with Winter saying, I like this composition from WG Unity. And, I mean, it certainly worked. Complexity unable to kind of best this 5-man hero roster.
Just the lanes. So they lost all their lanes. In Dota, if you lose 3 lanes out of 3, you're basically screwed, Yeah. There's no way. Even in certain cases, you lose 2 lanes hard enough, the game is like pretty hard after that. So I think for Complexity, the biggest issue was just the lanes this game. They drafted lineup that was really good at killing stuff, getting to a certain power spike with Aghanims or Mirana, but they just lost the lane phase way too hard.
20 minutes in and the top racks falls, Ben. That's not something any of us would have anticipated, surely.
Not at all. And Luttrak is really poor at this sort of situation. If you have Edict and Stun, and you can't run in with Edict, you can't run in with your Spirit Breaker because of the Timber Saw, and then they have a pipe for all their other damage, no one is dying at all.
They had the Omni Knight plus the bolt from Kanka. Like, literally, they had so many defensive spells at their disposal.
It had to be like a perfectly played Winter Wyvern, I think, to salvage this.
It was really difficult, though, because even if you get a big curse, as long as Omni is not caught in... That's why you saw Melons, he was like really under pressure to get the curse on the Omni Knight, because if he doesn't get Kang in the curse, he's just going to pop his G and heal his teammates up, and the ulti will be wasted.
So, I mean, when you were looking for counterplay, what Complexity could have done differently versus this composition, you're struggling to find answers.
With this draft, I feel like they drafted themselves a little bit into a corner where the draft was supposed to go and kill and win their lanes and then kill and more and then just go high ground at some point after you've dominated the rest of the game. But with not winning the game, winning the lanes, and not winning the game actually as well, but with not winning the lanes, they never could really fight. So then you all are on the defensive the whole time, and their counter push is just not enough. I mean, there's very little enough to counter push against Shadow Demon and Luna, but then Winter Wyvern is just not really the right one there, or at least not by itself.
This is the reason why when we see teams pick hero for their offlaner, it's either a good, really solid initiator, or they have like big AoE, like big spell for a team fight. Whereas in this game, Monkeys couldn't do anything with the SB. Like he couldn't really charge in. He couldn't really afford to run in first for his team. That's usually what you do. As SB, you run in first, you create space for a team, and your team follows up. But this game, they literally could not run in at all. Yeah, despite they had 6-2 the early game, they had 6 kills to 2. But
what did you say? What did you say? Winter in that green room?
Watching that game 6-2, but
Yeah. You're like 6-2, but Warriors are winning. They just don't got the first tower.
They're winning
right?
all the lanes, so it doesn't really matter that they gave up 6 kills.
Yeah, and of course, let's not forget, I think that score ended with 7. So it was 6-2 and 16-7. That was where Complexity did fall off the face of the earth. And while we do have it on your screens, it's worth mentioning, Ben, it happened again. Shadow Demon, 100% win rate, picked all 5 games we've seen so far here in the Wang Theatre. And every single time we've seen victory come its way.
He's just been very reliable. He has 11 assists in this game, and I think something that Complexity maybe relied too much on in the group stage is not having any setup for the Leshrac and the Mirana in general. In this game, like, Leshrac didn't really have a partner to run around with. They weren't able to kill anything. Like, even like a Spirit Breaker charge into Mirana could be messed up by a Fateful Bash. And in the last series that we saw with the EG, they had SD Leshrac, just very solid, very stable, very difficult to miss, easy to execute. And I actually don't know how they won so many games with just a straight Leshrac without any setup.
Because their lanes, I think because their lanes didn't go so bad. Like, this is the first time when they picked Leshrac and they lost their lanes so badly. Like, it makes a huge world of difference when you're winning your lanes and, you know, the pick suddenly looks like, oh, this pick is actually easy to execute because we won our lanes. But now, with the lanes being down the drain, then the hero becomes very weak.
So we also thought their opener was weak. It was what? Winter Wyvern?
Winter Wyvern
Mirana.
We haven't seen really at all, unless it's first round Ranger.
Isn't it coming one? I think we've seen it once, if not like as a
something
response
He
to a
was
throw.
expecting to use it well against like the SD Luna, but in the end it didn't work out very well because of the Omni line. The Omni line just made sure, and the Kanka as well. They had 2 defensive heroes with big AOE spells that save your team, so it makes the Wyvern redundant in the team fights.
Even for Shadow Demon, I don't think it's particularly great. You can still just disrupt the target.
I mean, I'm just
really
explaining why he actually chose. He was he was expecting to give away the SD, and he wanted a hero that can clear the illusions and use the illusions to kill the other heroes. That was probably the plan.
With all this discussion of heroes, it's my pleasure to introduce a hero of mine. Purge is hanging out to go ahead and explain things. I'm just going to try and approach this with flattery, Kevin. Is it working?
It's sort of working. I think we have a decent layout here. I think there's a couple major things, mostly about the Timber Saw.
Okay.
I think that was a lot of it.
Show me what you got.
Well, gladly, I'm ready to start. Stopped interrupting me. Jeez, man. Okay. Timber mid. Very strong, hard to kill. This is the first time coL ended up ganking him. It ended up taking 4 heroes, and even then it wasn't very easy. And I think this is really the big fixture that caused coL to have a lot of trouble, especially as they got into the mid game. I mean, we also had some tower trading. This looked really good for coL at this point. They got some more kills than their opponents. They were getting about equal net worth, even though they had less farm, just because of how many kills they had. But Warriors Gaming was very good to actually trade towers and things like that. This transitioned a bit later. This is the big fight mid that kind of sealed the deal in a lot of ways for coL, just because they put so much effort into trying to kill the Timber Saw, but it was so difficult to do so once he got the hood up, because almost all their heroes have magic damage. Maybe, for example, the Weaver could have gone Deso first instead of Dragonlance. That might have been an option, but they just had so much trouble killing him once he actually got repelled. And then after they win fights like these and take towers, and you have the extra abuse of Kunkka being able to X an ally, bring him back immediately after getting items, and that means there's no downtime between pushes at all as long as your heroes don't die. So once they got ahead and it was hard for them to get killed, it just pretty much closed out the game and it was over.
Thank you very much, Purge. Once again, just helping us get a further understanding of exactly what went right and what went wrong. Complexity, it was a great interview with Moo, and one of the things he did highlight, he said that sometimes he feels like the criticism held towards them isn't justified. However, the criticism now that we are identifying within Complexity is that it was almost not lost in the draft, but they certainly didn't make it easy for themselves in the draft. Is that the general consensus here, Shiva? You're pulling funny faces?
Yeah, because it wasn't that strong of a performance from them.
Sure.
And I do think that all the credit does go to WG Unity because they had a clear and solid plan. But at the same time, it feels like maybe, Complexity tried something out. Hey, let's see what happens if we let Shadow Demon Luna through and let's see if we can counter it. At the same time, also something that Moose said in an interview was that he was happy to lose the first game and then learn from it and come back. So I hope that they learn maybe Shadow Demon Luna a little bit too strong.
Well, I mean, there's definitely a correlation between Shadow Demon and victory at the moment. The other trends we had in the group stage have fallen off, though. Not a single Magi yet. I mean, it's been banned quite heavily. What other trends did we see in the group stage that haven't translated?
No Warlock?
No Warlock. Yeah, that's true. Bat Rider has popped up. I'm trying to think what else has been a common presence. That's true. There was
quite a few IO games.
And that's specified per team, I think. I think most of the teams today don't really play it. And we'll see it more. For example, our last match of the day, which is OG MVP, I think we might see it in that one.
That's true.
Interesting. I mean, this has been a development across, you know how we talked about the development from TI to the Summit to here. We've even seen development from day 1 to now what is coming into essentially day 3, albeit after a 2-day hiatus. The players are making their way back onto stage, but we do have just enough time to go ahead and see what the guys over from the community have been saying. This is one of my favorite parts. We get to see a question from the community for our panel. Some are a little more meta-focused than others. It was a really good discussion we had in the previous segment, asking us if the longest patch has been better. This one, what will be our new Cinderella story at this major from Yellow Panda? Well, there's plenty.
Because isn't the Cinderella story only possible for the one that actually wins?
Yes. Well, I mean, the Cinderella story is from rags to riches,
okay,
right?
well, you could add Finham. I think that is a team that is noteworthy. You cut Complexity as well. I think kind of looked at as the second NA team, and here proving that they already beat EG, that they can definitely be the #1 as well, which remains to be seen if they can also do that in the rest of this series. And then you got WG Unity, another one. They're actually facing each other, so only one will continue with their Cinderella story. Did I miss out any?
LGD.
LGD as well, not being in the major, then coming into the major
as a 1 seed.
As a 1 seed, that's true too.
A big point, isn't it? From not having an invite extended to them due to issues with execration coming into the major. And now, I mean, they're playing to potentially get to that semi-finals should everything go to plan in a kind of China v China bottom bracket. Anything else to add to that list, Benefit? I mean, basically, in terms of Cinderella stories, the list we have it could be Warriors. I mean, let's not forget they have just taken a win versus Complexity, who have beaten EG. They've also beaten Wings. I mean, they're taking scalps here. WG could be that Cinderella. They could be getting their dress on now, just trying to find those glass slippers.
Could you be our Cinderella story?
I mean, I would look good in glass slippers. I'm just saying, it would make the booty pop. I'd rock that. I would. And everyone is judging me now. Okay, another social media question.
No comment.
I'm actually just wiping the sweat from my brow as I claim I'm wearing glass slippers. What have we got? How different are the skills needed for Dota 2 compared to CSGO? That's coming from Ari the Ugly. Comparing Valve games. That's a ballsy one.
I mean, that's for you.
That's for you.
How different are the skills needed for Dota 2 compared to CSGO? I mean, there's a lot of crossover in terms of mechanical ability. You still have to have a very firm understanding of the game. It's
very
just
good communication.
Great communications. You have to be a competitive player. In terms of there's a common trend in Dota and CS where if you used to be good at sports, a lot of players have had a professional background or semi-professional in sports and end up playing Dota or CS. So there's some elements. There's a lot of difference though. I mean, decision making, you have to have it in CS. You have to have it in Dota. It's just very different decisions being made. Oh, I'm trying to think of a comparison. I mean, as a Dota player, Ben, when you look at CS, what you can make a comparison. Sure.
Well, I know some of the professional Dota players that plays CS. What's one of the highest ranked, global elite?
Yeah.
I think S4 is global elite, and he's on OG. I also have seen many of the VP players as well as Faceless players just play CSGO in their spare time, so that's something that they clearly enjoy. But
I imagine a lot of the skills translate.
Yeah,
I would imagine so. I mean, but the difference is perhaps the micro. I mean, you're putting your crosshair on a head as opposed to a crosshair on different heroes. But I mean, from a player's perspective, Winter, you still have to be the mouse precision is almost equal, right?
I can't comment on that because I get motion sickness when I play CS.
Oh yeah, you said.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. Just too much moving.
What about when you play like Timbersaw? Do you get motion sickness?
Nah.
What about Storm? No.
Any Dota hero? No.
Any Dota hero gives you
No,
motion?
it's like you have to be the first person.
Yeah, if I'm the first, I think it's more to do with that. First person.
Interesting. Good question though coming in. We're having a lot of diverse questions. I saw actually that you can actually submit them over on Reddit. That's actually the primary source of these. So if you are sitting there,
can I ask a question, Alex?
Oh God.
When are you gonna play Dota 2?
Tonight, if you're willing to teach me. Come on, jump on. I've been trying to get some Dota sessions.
He's
going
a hard
in the hotel.
teacher.
I went to watch him.
He flames.
Yeah, I don't trust him actually. I snuck up on him in the practice rooms, and I was trying to start a conversation with him. I was like, "So, Winter, what's happening?" He just kind of went. He was having none of it. Absolutely none of it. He's like, "Watch me play." And we're going to watch these guys play because it is draft time.
Yes.
WG and Complexity. Game 2, Warriors with the 1-0 advantage. Is it really going to end here for Complexity? I mean, we were so critical of their draft. It's safe to assume, Ben, it's going to be a bit of a fresh approach now.
This is one of the few times that I've seen them have a more standard opener than the other games.
This opening is like very similar to the last game. A defensive support plus Mirana, but much more versatility with the Treant. You can do a lot more in the early game. You have the 3 armor to help your lanes much better than the Wyvern.
I think a bigger problem over the SD Luna was the Timbersaw, and they first faced it this time.
Yep. It's mostly of the matchup because I've been telling you during the breaks where how Nana is really good at dominating his lanes, where they would always prioritize and picking him a good lane matchup, a matchup that allows him to win his lane and snowball.
Well, after 5 out of 5 successful games for Shadow Demon, it's been banned.
Yeah, understandable.
Complexity taking that one away.
Yeah. The Treant Protector, so far, Swindles has played it successfully every single time they played it. I think they played it twice and won twice with it as well. So I think that is indeed, as said, a good opener. I love the lanes that we had previous game with the Timbersaw versus the Mirana. And I know that WG Unity, like, they won that lane very, very hard. Of course, at some point they came in with 4 to try and kill off the Timbersaw, succeeded as well, but...
if you need 4 to kill the Timbersaw at 4 minutes, that's
a problem,
bad
right?
news.
But at the same time, Complexity has the flexibility to go for the Z-Freak Mirana and just pick something else entirely for cancel if they really want to, if they are worried that same lane would happen again.
I actually like that idea. I think after the first game, you'll be looking at that game and thinking, we need to give our mid player a better lane matchup. We can't give him a bad matchup, otherwise this is how they want to play. They're going to snowball and they're going to push.
What heroes would you recommend that match up well against Timber, that are cancel heroes?
OD would be great, but it's already banned. Timber rarely struggles against the common heroes, but I think he struggles against heroes like a Razor. A Razor would be a very good example of winning that lane, but I'm not sure if he's that kind of player. You know? So
what kind of player plays Razor?
Many different ones, just not
him.
Fata,
yeah. Envy.
Envy. Okay. The players that don't mind, playing any hero, they just want to win the game. Some players need to play well.
Yeah, Razor's not the most flashy hero of the bunch. You need to be able to be a team player.
He's a hero that gets the job done, not flashy hero.
He's literally
just whipping them.
It's true.
He's flashy. Yeah. I like
electrifying, even so.
So this is the second time we've seen Mirana being a high priority pick from Complexity.
Yeah, like I mentioned, it's a hero that they play in multiple roles. So when you open your draft, you want that for your team.
What about the Skywrath idea of Timbersaw?
Skywrath mid is very good against Timber, but
or even just support.
I think I've only seen one team play the hero mid. It was DC.
DC, yeah. Okay. In the grand finals, no less, of TI.
Yep. So the Juggernaut pick, once again, going back to much stronger lanes. I think the adjustments that coL is making is really good. After the first game, they are going for much more solid lanes. They are putting a lot more emphasis in winning their lanes after what happened.
Yes. After did you say they lost all 3 lanes in the first game?
Basically, it was bad. And the other hero I wanted to say was good against Timber was Ursa, but also banned. Didn't realize that. So those are cancel heroes. I know he likes to play Ursa and OD. I see him play those heroes a lot in pubs.
Yeah, that's why they are banned, indeed. So what does that Juggernaut pick say about Complexity's lineup so far?
I think they can match it up against the Timbersaw and win their lanes.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be a good matchup.
That is actually pretty good. But the Timber should still be able to farm, but at least you won't get trashed because you have the spin to get creeps and harass him out of the lane.
Trashed. I don't hear you use that word that often. Winter.
I mean, he got fine. He got owned in the lane really hard.
I like the word trashed.
I like trashed. Yeah, that works. Dumpstered is something I've heard you say.
It means a lot coming from you.
What?
Yeah. Sometimes you sugarcoat it, Winter, and I feel like we've got rid of some of that sugar.
It's because I'm here.
Yeah,
he likes being honest.
No.
You're an enabler. You take the leash off of Winter.
I keep him from being a liar.
Winter Unleashed. I can imagine that being a series.
Help.
Help me. The draft is not even done yet.
Okay, Luna without a Shadow Demon, though.
I mean, it's still a very solid hero in my opinion. Like in C, a lot of the teams here like to pick the hero for one primary purpose is to win your lanes, because your lanes are really, really strong when you have the Luna. Off laners have a hard time in dealing with the lane if you are on your own. In most cases, I think the Treant can't really help out the lane apart from the casual armor when you need it. So apart from that, I don't see coL having a very strong dual lane like an Ogre plus Sanking, that kind of lane to pressure the Luna.
Sheev, you brought up an interesting stat before. I want to just clarify. Did you say that Z-Freak had played a different hero every time?
Yeah,
every single time?
In the group stages. Yeah. So yes, or the previous game he
until
played
the
Leshrac.
Last game, right?
He didn't play Leshrac. It was Swindles playing Leshrac all the time. So 9 different heroes in the last 9 games.
9 different heroes in 9 games. I guess I would assume that's quite a unique stat, right? Not too many can be.
Sanking.
Yes. It is.
There we go. The Sanking. Sanking is pretty good hero against Timber because it's spell damage, or you can use him to lane against the Timber. Sand King is pretty good against Timber because of the caustic. It's all spell damage. Makes it really hard for Timber in the first few levels. So
is it a toss-up between Jug and Sand King then for you guys?
Or they could just do the standard Sand King offlane with the and the occasional tree armor and the Mirana roaming around. Because I doubt they'll be having swindles with the Trion and the bottom lane with the Sand King. I think he'll be just at the top pulling and just doing his thing, casting armor. And Z-Freak on the Mirana will be roaming to help the Sand King. Like if you catch the Rubik out of position, you stun, follow up for arrow. It's a pretty straightforward kill.
I think they're rooting for WG.
I think they were dank memeing.
Nope, that's 2 Ws. There you go.
Oh, I like it.
Wow.
I denied their memeing.
You are.
And
You're
I
the
made it
anti-meme.
into a Dota thing.
So
Probably not true, but
right now WG has to think about the Sand King lane, because their lane, if they do Rubik plus Luna dual lane, and like the last game they had the other support helping the off lane, then the Luna might have a hard time in the laning phase. So right now is a very important time to decide whether we pick another laning support to go with the Luna. I mean, a lot of the times when I see, okay, so this is what I suggested in the previous game, but they went for something similar, a team fight, position 4 that can roam and help the lanes. It's pretty good at destroying the tree armor, because you have the magnetize and the silence for the Juggernauts. Just all in all, a very solid support pickup for them.
Are you happy with the draft so far?
Yeah, still pretty okay. But coL this time have a much better lineup to deal with. They're basically doing the same thing, same system with a bit of different heroes. But coL has a much better composition to deal with it, because their lanes are not as weak as the last game.
Yeah, with a Treant Protector. The lane
so
winner.
More positivity for Complexity's draft so far.
I like the Sand King a lot too. I think he's going to have a good lane no matter where he goes. And he gives them a lot of team fight, which I think they lacked last game.
Do you think they would play mid Sand King, or it's just going to be exclusively Monkey's hero?
We haven't seen it on cancel, but if it depends on what Warriors gaming want to run.
It's just for them. I'm just suggesting it because of the matchup. It's a very good matchup against Timber. If Timber is indeed going mid.
Yeah, he could still be on the offlane.
Yeah, he could still be on the offlane.
Looks like Complexity is expecting him on the offlane. They banned out the Tinker again, just like last game.
Yeah, they're really worried about those snowball heroes. Like I talk about Nana, him as a player plays 2 heroes really, really good, Storm and Tinker.
Both of them are going to be. Oh, actually, that's a lie. Storm's still available.
And if you look at the team, if they do Timber offlane, they have pretty good heroes like Juggernaut with the spin plus the leech seed from Treant Protector. I think that is good enough to deal with the Timbersaw.
Oh, Invoker. So it seems like Warrior Gaming Unity is expecting Mirana to go on Z-Freak as well.
Yeah, they are extremely. This band tells me they are extremely worried about one thing: the Sand King lane, because the Invoker will make the Sand King lane really strong because of the Sunstrike. The stun into the arrow Sunstrike will mean the Luna is just going to be very easy kill. So WG at this point, just taking it out just to make sure that their Luna's lane is secured.
Yeah. Well, it is still going to be Complexity with the last pick, so they can choose whatever they wanted to as their last pick comes out from WG.
Right now for WG, they go for the Legion Commander here, something that they started to pick recently. It's good to buff up that Luna in the team fights. And you can remove the overgrowth as well with the second skill.
And they play it offlane, so it kind of reveals that the Timbersaw is mid.
It's also great versus stun lock from Sand King and Mirana.
Yeah, it's really good for that. Sort of like a Studio Abaddon to remove the disables. Right now for coL, they're going to think of either if they want the Mirana mid or the Mirana's going to be support, and they pick another mid hero, like a good matchup for them.
It will be Mirana mid, by the looks of things. Unless they still want to go for the Sand King. Still an option there as well.
So that's their safe lane, huh?
It's Jug mid.
Jug mid.
Jug mid versus Timbersaw is a pretty good matchup for him. Sand King offlane.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty good for that.
Okay. So what? Who are you feeling is taking this one, Winter? I feel like you're expecting a third, aren't you?
Yeah.
You are.
Well, you can read my mind.
I can. That's synergy. Iceman and whatever the hell I'm called.
It's because he's being honest now.
Yeah, he's lost that sugar. I like this. Sugarless Winter is coming in. That sounds like a really kind of obnoxious
My
hipster
sugar
album.
is just for my wife, not you. Sorry.
Yes. Wow. When is that ceremony? It's going to be beautiful.
Not going to tell you.
Damn. Okay. She's watching. Absolutely. Hello, Winter's wife. Nice to meet you. Let's get into it, though. We have got 2 delightful human beings to be casting this one, and it is crunch time. Complexity, their chances, hopes, and dreams of lifting the Boston Major Trophy hang in the balance. Will this be Warriors throwing the knockout blow, or will we see a third? We'll find out with your casters, Gods and OD.
Thank you very much, Alex. Indeed, game 2 now. Warriors Gaming versus Complexity. A little bit of a switch up in the draft. We're seeing Complexity picking up the Treant Protector, something that we saw EG have success with earlier. Could this be the American hero that they need, Gods?
Yeah, it seems to be one of those NA heroes.
Yeah.
It's done Complexity used in the group stage to great effect. It seems to really, Swindles himself had a great game on the hero. Going back to the old EG with PPD, this is perhaps what Complexity need to force a game 3. Luna's going to scout out the smoke gank down bottom. Well, I say gank, it's the 5-man smoke through the enemy jungle. Doesn't actually scout anyone, but does pop Swindle's smoke, so he knows that someone is tucked away near that tier 1.
So we'll see what kind of laning-wise comes out and see if they do manage to find anything else with this smoke. Complexity still over in the jungle. It looks like they're unlikely to find anything as of yet, just securing the space around this rune spot. They'll get a ward down.
WG Uni seemed to know exactly what was going on. Luna's positioning, they circled their whole jungle. But even with the smoke not getting any kills, it gave Complexity the freedom to put a ward anywhere they wanted. They could have blocked pulls, they could have blocked stacks. They instead go for a ward that scouts the rune as well as gives visions for any hero rotating between mid and bottom lane. So something that it should be near impossible to de-ward just because there's too many spots that you can put that ward.
At the same time, though, during that movement, Warriors Gaming were able to get themselves over coL's side of the map, and they have blocked off that small pull camp and also got that ward down deep in Complexity's jungle. So a bit of vision trade-off there already. Lane-wise, indeed, as the panel was saying, we're seeing cancel on the Juggernaut this time going up against Nana's Timber. And are you kind of happier to see this for coL rather than just seeing Mirana put mid again? Because that matchup was pretty much a disaster in game 1.
Yeah, way better matchup as far as the 1v1 at mid lane goes, and I think that's something Cancel would have been telling his captain Swindles. Once he saw that first 2 picks on the Timbersaw, he's like, don't put me mid against the Timbersaw again, that's not working. So we'll see this straight up 1v1. For now, Z-Freak's near the mid lane, but he is trying to get his early level 2. Typically Mirana, if you go all in on throwing arrows at level 1 without getting any XP, you fall super far behind, so he's going to just jungle himself a little bit. Before going for any arrows towards that mid lane. Perhaps looking for that level 2 Blade Fury from Cancel for the kill.
Yeah, already we can see Cancel just trying to trade damage with the level 1 and crit. But already Nana salving up. Back to return to continue control of that lane. Top lane. So a bit of a mess here. His move being gone on. He'll turn his attention towards Arfu. Simply rolls away. At this 2v2 lane at the moment. Both teams running 2-1-2. We saw coL game 1 sticking with the 3-1-1 in the opening, but this time they're opening up with pressure on both halves of the map.
Yeah, nice defensive ward at bottom from WG. Scouts Z-Freak now in their jungle, so they have eyes on him, which is something they're probably getting a bit antsy about. They've probably seen a lot of...
What the hell?
Okay.
Cancel!
And the salve!
I mean, we were not expecting that. Solo killing the Timbers. I think he was a bit annoyed from game 1. He's ready for vengeance.
Yep.
Solo killing the Timbersaw.
Then he skills up the healing ward. He is not leaving this lane. He has a bottle coming on the courier soon. He's 30 gold short, which unfortunately will be a perhaps tough 30 gold to get.
And I mean, that is absolutely fantastic for him coming into game 2. He's got to been feeling a little bit down after the opening laning performance in game 1. And game 2, getting first blood on your own against the Timber that finished 6-1-8 last game and it was absolutely trashing your team. That's an incredible opening for coL.
He's still not CSing great. It's still like only just now buying his bottle 2.5 minutes in, and that's with a first blood. So you see his CS, he's seeing on just 4 CS, so he's getting like 2 CS a minute, which is very lackluster for the mid lane. And that's something where we see Nana, like he's just zoning him out. He walks up, starts right-clicking, you get the reactive armor procs. It is very tough to fight the Timbersaw in mid, even as a Juggernaut. You've got to rely on that Blade Fury quite a lot to get harassed as well as kills like we just saw.
We can see Z-Freak still playing around with the jungle camps of WG, trying to find his level 3, which he's going to find very, very shortly. And then we can expect to see him become a little bit more active across the map and maybe even try and help Cancel secure another kill in that mid lane. Top lane, though, rolling in, Arfu, looking towards Swindles. Isn't going to connect there with the slow, so Swindles will be A-OK at the moment.
Yeah. It does appear that Z-Freak's playing very passive and not really... He hasn't thrown any arrows at lane so much, but this is... just, again, making sure that he doesn't fall too far behind. If you go for those arrows and don't land them, or even if you land on a Timbersaw, it's not really a guaranteed kill, so you don't want to waste your time as a Mirana. But now he's ready. He's looking for that arrow at mid. Jug's going to have a level 3 Blade Fury.
If he can hit it, I mean, it's a kill if he hits it from this range, but it really is a big if. They're going to start off Cancel. Looking to harass down Nana, but he moves in a very nice... He kind of goes up towards the top, making it hard for the arrow to hit, but now Z-Freak coming around from behind. Nana's already fell incredibly low. He's got one more Timber Chain. Can they actually catch him, though?
It's tough. He's got 10 reactive armor procs.
Z-Freak will try, but yeah, it's a hard attempt for a kill.
Even if it lands, I think it's not quite going to be a kill top lane meanwhile.
And meanwhile, WG, they're able to open up onto Swindles and Moo unable to find anything in return. So this duel versus duel lane already opening with a favorable start for the Legion and the Earth Spirit.
Again, we see WG Uni just prioritizing winning the lanes. This is like one of the classic SEA Dota things. You look back at some of the SEA success at TI and all that. One of the big kind of staples of SEA Dota is winning your lanes, doing well in the early game. Teams are known for playing very gank heavy, even going back to like the old RNG sports, and that's exactly what WG Uni have done. The CS charts, again, looking very good.
He is so damn sneaky. Tries for these arrows, but unfortunately unable to connect. But he's certainly starting to step at the pressure. We saw him get those early levels in the jungle, but now it's just all about switching from lane to lane, just trying for those arrows.
That's Mirana as a hero and as a spell. Very hit or miss with that Sacred Arrow, and if you're not hitting those arrows as a support Mirana, you're not necessarily offering a whole lot. He has managed to farm up the Arcane Boot, so he will hit this decent timing where he can now farm a lot faster by throwing more arrows, and just having the bigger mana pool means you have more opportunities to go for those kills. So sure, Z-Freak hasn't been involved in any kills yet, but that can quickly change. All it's going to take is one arrow in this mid lane to quickly turn the tides in Complexity's favor. There's Omni/online as well for cancel to look for that kill.
Looking back at the other lanes, again, this mid-lane matchup, even though we did get the first blood cancel, severely suffering 14 for 4 against the 20 for 5. Nana pretty much doubling the CS. Again, Z-Freak trying for an arrow to help out, but it is looking rough again for cancel in this opening. They've got that early kill, but he needs more. He needs some sort of help to deal with this Timbersaw. Otherwise, we could potentially just see a repeat performance from Nana in Game 2.
It was one of those things which the WG Nana talked about coming into this match is the nerves, like how some of his teammates can get nervous and playing, and WG Uni are not showing. If anything, it's cancel, his first big LAN event. He seems to be showing some nerves because this is not a matchup that should be this one-sided. 2 games in a row, he's had maybe slightly tough matchups. This one not as bad as the game 1, but he's getting destroyed on CS. He is having a really rough time, and I think a big part of that is the LAN jitter. WG Unity not showing any of themselves, and they're the team looking more composed right now.
Up top, coL trying to open up onto Kangaroo, immediately dispelling off the initial slow for the Windows, but the follow-up rage and open wings is there from Moo, looking to dive onto Kangaroo. But he's out behind the tower.
Here, but can't get off an Omni/Slash or a Blade Fury. It's a wasted time and rotation from him. It's a big time investment. Let's bring 4 heroes to a lane to try to get a kill. They did last game to kill the Timbersaw and they actually got the kill, but it was still a bad sign when you have to bring 4 heroes in. This time they bring 4 and they don't even get the kill. Really rough start for Complexity, and we're looking at a kill score of 1-1, but a CS advantage going WG's way. The one thing coL do have is a farming 4-position hero, so they are getting farm onto the support role. Does mean they're getting a bit more elsewhere, even if their cores are not winning their lanes.
Z-Freak. Look at the D-Ward. Nana just eyes on him at the moment. This is opening up a bit more space for Cancel to pick up the farm. Again, in the mid lane, Monkeys to head over, see if he can help out. In terms of his gold, coming up to 700 on top of the Tranquil, so we'll see whether Monkeys just wants to kind of play it safe out of the lanes and focus on getting that good Blink Dagger timing.
Yeah, he's got mana for the combo now, so could look for an Epicenter into, well, put Pyro Strike Epicenter with an arrow, so you can't Timber Chain away from the Epicenter if you hit the arrow.
It's a hard kill to go for, though, yet again.
Look at Nana, he's so good. He almost senses this coming. He's already repositioned to get himself out of harm's way.
I mean, he reads the map. You know, he's seen the D-Ward. He knows that there's no one in the bottom lane as the rest of his teammates are getting the pressure on. He knows that they're hunting for him, and he is just avoiding every attempt at his life here. It really is space created here from the Timbersaw. They're throwing resources at him, and they're not getting anything in return. Complexity.
That's really just incredible play. Like it doesn't look like it. Nothing happens. No one gets a kill. No one loses a tower. No flashy play is made. But avoiding that Sand King rotation takes some impressive map awareness, and that's exactly what Nana shows there. He avoids going down and puts himself in a position where he's able to defend the mid-tier 1 tower without giving up a kill.
Also trying to play around with this. Does have the Blade Fury in. Also does have an Omni and that TD, but nothing to be found there.
Threatened to go and Moo there, but he raged and it looked like King decided not to go for the duel.
We do have an invis on Z-Freak. They may get a chance to find some sort of a pick-off here. Arjit still with the close backup.
Hard kill because of the raindrops, does block a decent chunk of damage coming out. far as the Burrow Strike going as an initiation tool. And
I mean, they need the Epi and the Burrow ready for this kill, it feels like.
Well, they go in for it.
So they've got to be careful about the telekinesis and Lucent being potentially cancelled. The channeling immediately though. Monkeys goes in with the Burrow Strike. There'll be a telekinesis. He waits it out before casting the Epi. Now he knows he can go for it. Nothing left to cancel it. RG comes out with the Eclipse, but some smart little play there from coL. They'll get one. Nova tries to TP out, but the Burrow Strike's there, and they get a second. Meanwhile, up top, there's a duel going in on move. They'll get the win. They'll get the damage as well. So Warriors Gaming do find something in return. It's a 2-for-1. And just really smart little play there from Complexity down at the bottom. Just the patience from the Sand King to wait before he commits the Epi, and he knows that the coast is clear. Nothing's going to be there to stop the channeling.
Yeah, some composure there. It's kind of your reaction as a Rubik, like, oh, my carry's gone, I've got to lift to try and help him out. But as soon as you lift, that's when Sand King's queued up to cast that Epicenter, knowing there's nothing left to try and stop it after that. And, well, WG Uni lose their carry, but there's still overall a pretty positive early game for them, and with that kill on Lifestealer,
Moo will actually block off the roll away here from Arthur. Monkey's rotating across with a Burrow Strike. That's going to allow Moo to chomp down and get himself a kill. Z-Freak jumps forward, hits the arrow, Starstorm to follow up as well. They're going to take both of the kills on this top lane. Double kill for Moo. Absolutely crucial there in that top lane.
Great aggression coming in. Z-Freak landing the arrow that's been perhaps missing from the Complexity early game, and this really sets them up. It gets Monkeys up to 1,600 gold on Sand King. They're going to be playing around that Blink Dagger timing a lot, and they're going to have some pretty good follow-up for it. I mean, Jugs kind of turned things around.
He's absolutely caught up, and he's ahead of Nana now in terms of net worth. This lane has only got better as Nana's kind of been out to the side, and space has been given to cancel.
Yep, Monkeys farms a nice little big neutral stack, so that gets him up to 2,000 gold, very close to the Blink Dagger, and after perhaps 2 more camps, he's going to be there, and that's a concern as Kang immediately comes in. He knew there was a bit of a stack there, but he does not get there in time to contest it.
Mid lane poof. Looks over Nana, eyes on to cancel. Next over grabs himself the healing ward. Would be useful for any kind of pushes they want to achieve with the Luna.
Yeah, not the best. Probably was preferring to try find a Blade Fury off of that one, but still an okay spell. Again, it's, yeah, if you can go for a push and group up, it's going to be great, but that's not really what WG want to do right now. They're probably scared to push into like a Invis initiation. Nature's guys can help get some of the heroes in position to try and fight. Jug's very high level. The Blink Dagger timing on Sand King is coming soon. So these are things that if you're WG Uni, you want to try and avoid, perhaps through some clever smoke usage or trying to play more the pick-off game rather than the 5-man push game.
Back towards mid. Nana still keeping up, but in terms of the dominance of this lane, it's really fell off. Go for the Blade Fury here, cancel just to force Nana again out of the lane. And Z-Freak already ready and preparing as he moves across to their half of the map to try and keep tabs on what the Timber's getting up to in the jungle. There's a ward down, so WG well aware of the positioning of Z-Freak, and in fact, maybe seeing if they could do anything about it. Rubik was slightly in the neighborhood, so making sure that Z-Freak doesn't hang around too much. He'll immediately just Moonlight and back up. Looks like Nana. He's going to try with a bit of AoE, but he won't quite find Z-Freak, and Mirana will be able to walk away to safety.
Yep, did some nice intel as far as Z-Freak's concerned, but it does cost him the 2-minute cooldown of Moonlight Shadow, may mean that he can't use it to save someone like his Lifestealer getting jeweled or someone in the off lane. So it does limit what Z-Freak can do at this stage, but still a good position for him to be in as far as being deep in the enemy jungle. Xnova will de-ward a ward. This is a ward that's been there for a while, so by no means a new ward, and Z-Freak probably looking just to TP on home.
Well, up top, and we go. Burrow Strike from Monkeys. He has the center to follow through. Arfu falling down low. They tried for a duel, but they managed to end up losing it themselves. Indeed, they will. Move does go down, but he gets the bonus damage on the Lifestealer. It's a double kill for Archer, but cancels in position to punish him. One more touch should do it, but the movement speed is favored there by Luxman. No, it's not. He's got the phase boots. The phase boots doing it there for cancel as he closes up on another. And Arjit may have got the double kill with that rotation. But coL, they get the numbers advantage and also that tasty little bonus on Moo.
That's nice for the Lifestealer. Really great time to have an Arcane Rune as Jug. Gave him the mana pool he needed to use Blade 3 and the Omni Slash.
TP in. Swindles. She's taking a bit of a beat down here for Nana. And in fact, with the Boulder Smash, Swindles is just going to get taken down. Warriors Gaming immediately punishing in the TP there.
He really wants to defend the mid tier 1 tower. One of the nice things with Trine is if you defend those towers, you can then heal them back up to full. So he throws away his life, but it does defend this mid tier 1 tower. It gives time for Mu to respawn, then he TPs in. So this low tier 1 mid tower will be healed back up, and it really kind of hurts your item timings if you're not getting the tower gold, as well as just your ability to get map control if you can't take towers. And WG Uni recognize that. They want to perhaps stay around this mid lane, but without the Luna, taking this tier 1 mid tower is going to be very, very tricky.
And they've got to be careful from any kind of potential jump in from Monkeys Forever, as he's constantly moving around the map.
The Luna here.
They've got eyes on Arjit. Arjit jumping from Monkeys. You're looking through the four parrots, a little bit out of time there on Z-Freak, unfortunately, for Complexity. So Arjit will be fine, and Monkeys will be forced to back off.
Treant Armor hasn't fully kicked in this mid lane, and WG Uni are trying to swarm on it.
Still coming in with the Treant Invis, and he's got the level 2 Omni Slash. Meanwhile, they're in the river. Monkeys looking for the Duke out with the Burrow Strike, the Sandstorm. He makes it away. Arjit comes in with the high ground, but the bait and the trap is successful. Jumping in with the Omni Slash. Blade Fury to finish off the Luna. It's a killing spree now for the cancelled Juggernaut. Rolling in the mid lane, yes, rolling away, timbering out, still they can't finish off the tower. Moo comes in with a deny, and now Monkey's jumping in. Burrow Strike to set up Nana, trying to timber chain himself away, but Z-Freak's there, waiting with the Starstorm damage. Moo here, looking to try to chase down and finish him off. Nana, incredibly low on the mana front. He does have Arcanes and a TP, but it looks like, is he going to be able to get himself out? Monkeys with the Burrow Strike, another timber chain. Nana, keeping himself alive for the time being, timbering into the base. He's got the mana for the TP, but he knows he's dead. Monkeys jumps in, will finish him off at the end of it all. And 15 minutes in, this game is looking to be a lot cleaner for Complexity in comparison to game 1.
Yeah, they're playing a lot better as a team getting these kills. They are still kind of suffering on net worth on the main core heroes there, but really good escape from Monkeys. Unfortunately for WG Uni, they thought they had the kill on the Sand King. They didn't put down the Sentry Ward, so that tiny bit of invis gave him the ability to Burrow Strike out. They had the Sentry preemptively planted. It would have been a kill there on the Sand King, and things would have gone a whole lot better for them, but he escapes. Jug comes in, level 2 Omni Slash this early on. Cancel doing as well as he had meant they had already the level 2 ulti, and that was a big amount of damage output that Luna just wasn't able to sustain. Complexity don't want to slow things down. They want to go, 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 and they are ready to try and make another jump, ideally killing the Luna again. This is the big carry hero that screwed them over last game, having that constant pushing capabilities. They want to try and slow down her farm and item progression.
Bottom lane, the pressure. That's come out.
He can't TP out. He's trapped. He's committed to this bottom lane.
Yeah, I'm going to bring down more members. Nana to TP across as well. I'll see how much they want to commit to defense. This could be risky though. Jumping, get a good silence on the Gauss, immediately blowing him up though. He's out of the fight. Moo jumps out, looking to turn as they go in off the Earth Spirit. Monkeys with the first Burrow Strike to finish it off, but Arjit moving in with the Eclipse, forcing Complexity to back out. Monkeys trying to juke it out with the Sandstorm. coL is in the tree line. Nana hunting him down with the Chakram, and one more Burrow Strike though. Monkeys, he looks to be fine. Can he get himself out? He has the blink and jumps away. He'll survive. Only casualty at the moment on the side of coL being the Juggernaut, but now they'll find more. WG get the duel off onto Swindles. A successful win for Warriors Gaming. It's not quite finished there as they find themselves Z-Freak as well. This time it's Warriors Gaming with a successful team fight. They look to get a tier 1 out of it as well, and Moo still hanging around under the cover of the Moonlight Shadow, but he has to be careful. Monkeys on the sideline. He does have an epicenter. I don't know if he'll want to try and go for anything big though without the rest of his team being there. Oh, he's going to do it. He's going to try for it. Jumps in. Epi Burrow Strike onto 2. Moves there with a follow-up looking for Arjit. X-Nova with the stolen Burrow Strike. Gets himself back out. They've lost Monkeys for this though. Kangaroo keeping himself alive with the armlet toggling. Will blink away. So Monkeys trying to go for the high value play. It does end up getting the Luna and the Rubik, but it costs him his life. Cancel still's hunt. He's got the Omni. He's got the Omni. Oh! He's only just got to pick him up a freebie on his own. He can't get anything more, and with that picked up as well, definitely worth Monkeys going for the big balls play there.
Yeah, it was already a nice win for them, killing off the Luna there, but following it up with the Legion commander kill. This is a very farm Legion.
I mean, look at it's like, surely he's not going to. But he sees the positioning. He sees X-Nova and Arjit in perfect place to take a full-on Epi and Burrow Strike to the face. In he goes, allowing time for Cancel to TP across. He does get stunned up in return by X-Nova's stolen Burrow Strike. But the fact that they get this cleanup, not just the Luna, the Rubik as well, and Cancel, he commits, he chases down, he hunts down the Legion, and makes sure it's a trade that Complexity they won't regret going for on bottom lane as well. They're not only going to find one, they maybe get more of this. Arfu rolls out, he's been roosted as well, held up in the tree line.
Really far. That was like a roll over the cliff, and
they should find him in okay. Monkeys, you've got to say, this Sand King, he has been having a pretty damn good game so far. He will be stunned. He might actually get this kill. Mark just cast a curse him here. But already 3-2-10. He's been making a lot of plays across the map, and at the least creates the space for coL to finish off that tier 1. But a little bit of a bummer that he couldn't find the kill.
That's still a big victory for Complexity as far as where they stand in this game. They're getting the kills, but they hadn't been able to really have that farm advantage. But off of those kills onto the Luna as well as Legion Commander, and now the Timbersaw going down as well, they found themselves with a bit more of an edge. It's the Nature's Guy's initiation there, maxed out by Swindles at level 10. He's got 4 points, and its 60-second duration invis allows himself to just roam around, playing that invis initiating type here, and also his teammates. We see him walking through the jungle with Monkeys. Monkeys will lead the way. He's invis. He doesn't have to worry about being detected. And
oh, hello.
And that's a siege creep.
What's this siege creep doing?
CG's on a mission.
Let's see what if Moo can find anything with this one. No, at the moment down on the bottom lane. The rest of WG towards the mid.
You're not worried about getting blink jeweled, I guess, which is a nice way to move around the map. You know you can't get initiated on by the BKB piercing initiation, but Kang now is smoked up with his team, and he is hunting.
Got the epicenter. They have got the Treant ult.
They haven't got...
Cancel's not in the neighborhood.
Dust on Earth Spirit.
Cancel and Z-Freak are not ready to join this fight. They've Complexity trying to commit for it. They're eyeing up Nana. But the rest of WG will be there to help 10. In fact, WG making a beeline straight for Moo, jumping in, getting the draw. Monkeys is there with the backup, trying to keep Moo alive, but it's not going to work. They've lost Moo. They should lose Monkeys as well. He's falling incredibly low, trying to duke it up with the Sandstorm, heading for the tree line, but he's not going to find his way out. And Complexity biting there at the bait of WG Unity and paying heavily with 2 lives.
It was a bit, if Complexity like a bit further to the north with the Invis Heroes, they could have scouted that smoke gank out from the Nature's Guys, but they managed to just barely get past the Invised up Sand King as well as Tree and Protector.
Swindles, he's found our jits, bringing Cancel in. He does have an Omni Stash, but this is not the fight that you want to try and go for already. Backup coming in from Warriors Gaming, jump across with Kangaroos. They're looking for Swindles. They'll drop a sentry in a Dust. The Dust will clear, but Swindles inside the tree line.
No.
And he's going to get himself out there. Blends in with the trees, TP's out. Swindles will survive.
God, there's so much Invis Heroes. It's one of those games where you just have to spend all your money on sentries and dust as a support on the WG Unity side. But we saw this last game against the Weaver, against the Mirana. These supports don't mind being behind as long as their cores are doing well, and that's exactly what's happening again. The Jug is top of the net worth, but the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th spot taken up by WG Unity. They can get that Luna Manta style. That's going to help a lot against the Omni Slash damage and give WG Unity that 5-man push that we saw from last game. Nova plants a ward right by the sentry, so that'll get easily dewarded if Swindles wants to do so.
Maybe not wanting to reveal his position as of yet, just in case they can use this to get a jump on this defense move. Inside the Black Dragon, Monkeys on the side, level 2 epi, still on cooldown, 30 seconds.
Going to just backdoor the mid-tier 1 tower, get himself some money.
Top tier 1 as well being pressured by Z-Freak, so Complexity will lose a tier 2, trying to do their best to find something in return.
Yeah. Z-Freak's got a lot of fun. This is very fast Aghanim Scepter for a support Mirana.
He's going to have it about the same rate that Council did in game 1.
Thinking just the same thing. Just wasn't going to say it. Glad you're here to be a bit savage. No, it's a very different game for Complexity, and Z-Freak's been given a lot of farm allocation. He's kind of been the one playing that split patrol, similar to what he did in game 1, but Complexity as a team with their fighting unit have been more successful. Cancel has stepped it up. He's 6-1-4. He had a rough laning stage, but since then has really turned it around when he started playing around his team.
And obviously, as well, this game, because Nana, he prioritized the Bloodstone over the Hood, that Ag Starstorm is going to be much more effective than it could potentially have been in game 1.
There's early points into the null field for Rubik, so 3 points, he's almost maxed it out, so that 22% magic resistance aura will help a lot against both Mirana and Sand King. Does give some extra added value to the Rubik pick against these 2 heroes. It's not going to be the end-all save-all for WG Uni, and this is perhaps more the play here. They want to go in the aggressive again. Last time it got them a couple kills, including a lifestealer pick-off. They've smoked up, but Moo perhaps ready for some kind of a move is once again inside a creep. He doesn't want to play with his hero. It's a lot safer to be farming inside either a neutral or an ancient as he is. I say that he pops out. That's dangerous time if he gets spotted.
But it looks like Warriors Gaming aren't going to head that way. They don't have vision around the Ancients of Complexity. They've got their eyes on Hansel and Monkeys Forever. Both do have ultimates available.
Oh, that was a Radiant scan. They didn't scan anyone out.
Monkeys could be in trouble. It immediately blinks out, though. Looks like he's avoiding this movement for the time being. Burrow Strike TP away. And Monkeys, let's just see another day there. So nicely avoiding this 5-man movement from Warriors Gaming.
Yeah, they just slightly off on that one. They did get the kills last time. This one, they slightly missed finding the Ancient killing Lifestealer and then the rotation down bottom. Very hard to make those kills because your smoke pops, and when it's nighttime, the vision is just not really there. Outside of Luna being in the front line, Luna's not really the ideal hero to lead a smoke with, but when she has the Luna blessing vision, it's sometimes something you just need to have. And here we go, we can see what Lifestealer can do. He's got that Black Dragon, he's got plenty of mana to use the Fireball.
But look at this wraparound coming in from Complexity.
They want to get the backlines. Yeah, ideally, finding someone like the Rubik or the Earth Spirit, or even bursting down the Luna works just fine. You can see Lifestealer trying to scout them.
Just get the vision here with the Black Dragon.
They're positioned so well in the trees, though.
The Monkeys find the big jump immediately, going in with the first Burrow Strike. Will be held back by the Telekinesis into the Jewels. They need to save this SK. He's out. They'll lose one here. He'll buy back immediately. Monkey trying to get himself back in the fight. Cancel. Focusing on Zarjit with Blade Fury, but he has to back away under the cover of Moonlight Shadow. Moon's coming in, chomping down on Zarjit with a Boulder Smash. Holds them. They've lost 2 here. They're going to be losing Moo as well in this fight. Swindles on the retreat, but he's been dusted up. He himself has to be careful. And Warriors Gaming striking very, very hard there.
They're supporting cast, all 3 of them positioned in the trees with a high ground observer ward on that cliff. That was just the best way to take a fight for them. Juggernaut couldn't get his Omni Slash off. He didn't have vision of heroes, but those heroes could see him. That was just beautiful. We'll see Complexity now have to try and find a way to defend their high ground. This tier 3 tower and Rax could be in jeopardy.
They do still have the Epicenter in 30 seconds. They'll have the Omni Slash, but absolutely, there's this whole window. And with this SD, sorry, with the Luna, they may not be an SD this time round, but it doesn't seem to matter because the items and the potential that they've got at this stage is not the 20-minute racks that we saw in Game 1, but 25 minutes, they'll still take it. And Warriors Gaming opening up this matchup here, 15-16, and taking a racks away from the hands of coL. On the sidelines, though, Monkeys will find a retreating Earth Spirit. They'll take something for their efforts. But at the end of the day, Warriors Gaming will be more than happy with that trade. Winning a team fight, getting the racks, only losing an ES at the end of it all.
Yeah, here's the beautiful fight again. The instant duel onto the Sand King, recognizing that you take him out, you take the Epicenter out, and Cancel on the sidelines. He's trying to juke around the trees. He puts the healing ward down, trying to heal himself back up, but Arjit had vision because of that Observer ward. You can see Cancel immediately upon dying. He even pings the ward. He's like, ping, ping. I'm angry. I just died. Like, how did this happen? You can see the shock in his face because it's one of those things where if you're in those trees, if you can't see them, they can't see you. That's how the vision works in fog there. But because of that high ground cliff ward, Complexity had the advantage. He couldn't see anyone to Omni Slash. If he gets an Omni Slash there off onto the Luna, very different fight potentially.
Yeah, having to go for the Blade Fury first, just you aren't going to be able to out-TPS with that magical compared to the right clicks that Luna's packing at this stage. Into the Roche Pit, Complexity. And well, looks like they will get away with this one for free, so a nice bit of a pickup here to hold them in this game. As Warriors Gaming are moving across, but it's not going to be soon enough, so coL grabbing that move, picking up the Aegis with the Moonlight Shadow. They're ready to set up for a potential kill. It's a hard hero to go on though. Nana, the first target. Kangaroo jumping in with the Jewel available. Again, the Sand King is the big one to find. Taking Monkeys out of the fight before he can offer anything back in return. Cancel this time though with the Blade Fury. Does find one thing. Moo's already in Cancel trying to get out, but Cancel nuke down. The Telekinesis, the stolen Blade Fury. X-Nova chops down the Juggernaut. Moo. Ready for round 2, but immediate silence. Harfu gets the pull-off. The Magnetize is there, so no amount of armlet toggling will keep Moo alive. Warriors Gaming just finding kill after kill here in these skirmishes. And Complexity getting pulled apart, regardless of the fact that they had that Aegis for that attempt.
I mean, Harfu has just been insane on the Earth Spirit, from going back to that early kill at the Tier 1 bottom tower when he initiated on the Jug, to that fight by the trees with the Observer Ward that was his, to that push. Silence. I mean, Harfu's Earth Spirit has been the game decider in so many ways this game.
Cancel buying back. It's all on the line now for Complexity as they're potentially on the edge of losing a second set of racks before this 30 minutes mark.
Oh, once that tower goes down, then the glaives will start bouncing around. It's got an Eagle Song, so they push very fast with this Luna.
This is absolutely terrifying for coL.
Monkeys is smoked up, ready to Epicenter from the south,
He needs a huge
one. He's going for it.
But look at the split up from Warriors Gaming. Monkeys will jump in. It's just onto the Luna. Arfu coming in with a multi-man Boulder Smash. X-Nova again, moving forward with the stolen Blade Fury. Arjit falling down low. Finally gets chopped down here. They've lost Monkeys, but they've found 2 this time. They're getting the good trade. Kangaroo's trying to go in onto Moo, but Moo stays alive, turns towards X-Nova with the Ag Start off for Z-Free. Complexity are doing it. They're holding on. Kangaroos to be dropped as well. Nana, the last remaining survivor from Warriors Gaming. And if they can find this one as well, Complexity could live to see another day here in Game 2. Nana trying to get himself away, but Z-Freak jumps forward with the Starstorm. The regen from Nana, keeping himself alive here. Complexity, they've got to be careful with how they poke at this Timbersaw. Because Nana, it looks like they're just going to have to leave him be and let him get away. But at the end of the day, it is Complexity holding. They do get the kills, but it costs them the buyback from Cancel, and he immediately dies as well afterwards. So it's really going to set back the Jug in comparison to Arjit's Luna.
Yeah, and losing the tier 3 tower means that that mid lane is still open to push. Nana's playing almost too aggressive at this top lane.
He's still toying with him. And now when Monkey's coming across with a Burrow Strike, it looks like it could be the end to Nana's reign. Can he actually play his way out of it? He's got the Crimson Guard and the bots. He's just going to TP out. There's nothing to hold him back. And Nana just toying with Complexity.
He waves goodbye, says, see you later. That is some swag plays coming out from him. The main stage not scaring this guy as he styles all over Complexity in that top lane, and that really puts him in a rough spot now. Luna and Timbersaw both with a huge amount of farm. Luna's got the completed Butterfly, so not going to see an MKB anytime soon on either of the right-clicking carries of Jug and Lifesteal. And the Epicenter alone last time wasn't enough. Luna survived on like 400 or 500 HP thanks to the null field, and that's a scenario where they're going to have to be much more reliant on that magic damage or perhaps the Omni Slash. Level 3 Omni Slash is available for Cancel. He's got to get in and try and catch the Luna outside of the Manta illusions.
And look at this ward as well. They see the Jug, this high ground ward that WG are able to get up.
Gives them such an advantage. They see Cancel looping around.
He's got to be so careful where he comes out on this Jug.
If he dies, that's basically game over.
Warriors Gaming is having Nana on the front lines. He's pretty much invincible, as we've seen, with the Blink Dagger as well.
They've got to know he's coming, and they've got the Blink Fuel ready.
They're moonlighted, but they know. Warriors Gaming knows what's up, and immediately backing off. Going to be caught out. Monkey's coming in with the Burrow, just trying to clear out the illusions, but already the range drag's falling.
Oh, they've lost Moo.
Oh my goodness, how can
and here comes Cancel.
He's going to have to buy back for sure if they come in heavy. Cancel.
There's no duel for him, so they can't lock him down to get the kill. But what they can do is just walk in and take racks. And that seems to be more the plan now.
What can coL do to stop it? Well, the two-man silence there onto both Swindles. And Monkeys now, the buyback has been forced out on Moo.
Oh, that's really what they're looking to test the waters with. They're like, okay, if he buys back, we immediately want to retreat, but you don't want to get caught when he buys back. If you buy back as Sand King's Epicenter Burrow striking you, that's where you lose heroes, but they do so in such a way where they don't get punished. They have lost their high ground ward, but not sure that's going to matter.
Huge Epicentering up, and Nana comes in with the touch, cancelling the Blink Dagger. Monkeys can't get into position. The telekinesis to Lucifer bringing him down low. He will survive. They'll get a good arrow off the ES. Moo in the midst of it all, trying to chop them down, but the jewel's there. They'll get in. They'll finish off the lifesteal. He's down for 70 seconds, and Eclipse to follow up. As Complexity being cleaned up by Warriors Gaming. And it looks like Warriors Gaming on the verge of taking down coL. 2-0 potentially as 4 hit the deck. They know there's no buybacks out. Warriors Gaming going for the finish. I mean, Complexity may be able to hold on. There's still relatively short respawns, 30 seconds till the SK. But it's looking incredibly grim, and especially with Z-Freak coming forward, offering his life to the Southeast Asian gods. WG Unity have done it. 2-0 in this series. Complexity, they're going home, gods.
I mean, it goes back to what Moo was saying, is you can't underestimate any team in this
Absolutely
tournament.
not.
WG Uni may not be the team that many people expected to come out of the SEA region qualifiers, a team that a lot of people may not have heard of, but they come here to Boston and just played some insane Dota. The individual play from some of their players, from Harper and the Earth Spirit, from Arjit and Nana in the core roles, but then also the team coming together. The strategy in Game 1 was absolutely flawless. This team is a team to be scared of going into that round of 8.
Absolutely, and you've got to remember, it was always going to be hard for Complexity. Yes, they did win 2 series against CG in the groups, but this was a team turning up with very last-minute roster changes. Warriors Gaming, they're a team, this collection of players that we've seen before at qualifiers. They've never quite made it, but they've always been an incredibly dominant force. And here on the main stage, as we saw, just kind of drawing back specifically to Nana's players on the Timbersaw, these guys, they're not scared. They were showing an incredible amount of confidence here at LAN.
2 insane games on that Timbersaw. He absolutely dominated. Here he may even consider banning out moving forward, but WG Unity, yeah, it's really, they're the real deal. It's not just like 1 or 2 players stepping up, it's everyone. They're playing together as a team. They've got some decent hero diversity. Yeah, the Timbersaw was a hero they saw twice in a row, but it was everything else coming together as well.
Absolutely, but some crazy, crazy stuff. We'll be able to bring in the panel, Alex, and the lads and ladies. What a series, and we have a team that beat Evil Geniuses twice, going home first round of the main stage.
Yeah.
Warriors Gaming, though, looking absolutely incredible. Some fantastic team play and some incredible individual skill being shown.
It really is cutthroat, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, we've gone IGV, Wings, and now Complexity just gone. Dreams dashed on the first day here in the Wang Theatre. Boys, that must have been a pleasure to cast.
It really
was wonderful, yeah.
I mean, you're a fan of Southeast Asian Dota. This must have been right up your alley, Gods.
And it's great to see the depth of the scene. We've had TNC at TI, now you have WG Uni here. It's constantly the region producing great teams.
Thank you very much, Gods and OD. We'll be talking about it further. And the stories just keep on coming. Ladies and gentlemen, 3-2-0s today. Not necessarily the most anticipated of results. I mean, EG Wings, we expected to see 3. Even here, we expected to see 3 after. I mean, you were doubted. There was a shred of doubt coming in for your SEA brothers, but they managed to do it, Winter, and they did it in a relatively convincing fashion towards the end there.
I mean, this game was much harder because they had a lot harder time in the lanes. And Monkeys, especially on the Sand King, made a lot of really good moves after he got his blink. But at the end of the day, I think WG's composition was like a really strong composition as well in going into the mid to late game. They were able to counter a lot of the team fights, the initiation with the Legion. Legion is not a hero that you see win a lot. This hero is extremely difficult to pick. You need to pick him in the right situation, and this game he proved to be a very solid pick against the Lifestealer and the Juggernaut.
Did LC feel like an influential cog in the machine there, Ben?
Yeah, I really like the pick here. They weren't able to really chain stun him all too often, but he was able to lock down those normally very difficult to lock down melee heroes. Lifestealer and Juggernaut often picked for their ease of escape, but they just had a lot of trouble escaping the clutches of the LC.
Well, the other thing with the pick was he was a hero that could lane against Lifestealer very well. Like the laning phase, he got a lot of farm on the off lane. He managed to slow down Mu a little. So I think all in all, it was a great pick that game.
And Complexity, I mean, a lot of the panel were expecting to see big things from them after the repeated success versus Evil Geniuses. I think this is that was their big shining star, wasn't it? 2 series victories versus their domestic rivals. And an EG as well that's in form, that has managed to pick up their win in the first series here in the playoffs, Shiva.
Yeah, and this game started out so well. We started out with seeing Cancel get a solo kill against Nana's Timbersaw. And somehow Nana makes it back into the game and does amazingly well later on. But it started well. We mentioned that they have to focus on getting their lanes right, and they kind of did. At least they didn't really lose them as hard as they did in game 1. But still, Luna farmed more overall while the fighting was going on. WG Unity was able to keep the focus on more and just farmed as well as fought. And just did amazingly well throughout the rest of the game.
Well, going back to that first blood though, despite Cancel getting that first blood on Nana, but he paid a huge price for it. He was out of regen, he didn't have mana, so he had to play very defensive, even though he got the first blood. But the next few waves, Nana basically free farm after dying.
Yeah.
So it was a first blood, but it wasn't a great trade-off in the end because he couldn't get his bottle on time.
Didn't work out in the long run. One of the big kind of points we made was that Warriors Gaming worked as a unit. I mean, Unity felt very appropriate to be attached to their name. It was hard to outline an all-star for everyone here on the desk. Winter, you were in agreement that it is a team effort. It's one of the teams that they function as a machine, a well-oiled 5-man squad.
Yeah, when I always talk about this team, I would always like to highlight the way they play as a unit. And
sure.
Other C teams like Mineski, they might have their star players, But this team, they have very good grasp of how to play the meta. I like their drafts a lot when I was playing against them a lot in the region. And, they function very well as a team, At the end of the day, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, this fight, actually, it looked like Complexity still had a chance. They were so close to maybe making a comeback. But
Nana wasted so much of their time here.
Yeah.
Oh, is this where he just continued to survive?
Yes.
Yep.
And then that kind of BM TP just kept going for so long, and then just TP.
This was like a
big
play for him as well. He managed to somehow scout out the Sand King channeling his ultimate there, and was able to cancel the dagger. It was a huge play there by him, resulting in coL taking a really bad engagement here.
They really wanted to burst down the Luna. Sorry, Alex, go ahead.
No, please do run with it, Ben.
Yeah, we don't actually know how I saw him. I saw him in a tree invis.
Yeah, we were like talking about it.
Yeah.
Right next to the tree, and then he just blinked Whirling Death on top of him, and then that was the fight.
Yeah, the fight was like, there was no wards. Somehow maybe he knew he was there. He was invis, so I'm not sure.
Taking a chance, maybe?
I mean,
they had a sentry right on top of it, too.
Yeah.
We were singing the praises of Nana in that late game, but we are actually going to jump in with a different player from Warriors Game. He's hanging out with Slacks and his ex-Nova to celebrate their victory.
Hello, hello. I am here with X Nova. Hello, sir. You got to be excited after that game.
Yeah, we are very excited and we are happy for the result.
All right. Now, I got to ask you, are people underestimating X Nova? You guys beat Wings. You just stomped Complexity, and that was a team that was on fire. What's your opinion?
We sort of found that a play style that suits us when on the day we reach here, and at the end we managed to execute it well, and we proved that we are not the underdogs, not only the underdogs.
Yeah, absolutely. So the other teams, should they be scared of you? You're supposed to say yes, yes.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, so Complexity, as we said, they were a team that accomplished a lot, and you guys managed to 2-0 them. I want to know in your own words, was it the draft, was it the play? How did you beat that team that seemed pretty strong?
We actually put a lot of time watching their replays, and yeah, at the end we managed to find out the play style to beat them.
Yep. So it was research that won you that game?
Yeah.
All right. When are we going to see Meepo? I'm just going to come out and say, I know you guys love Meepo. Are we going to be seeing it here on the main stage?
I cannot reveal that.
Can you give us a hint? Just give us a facial expression to see if you're going to play Meepo.
Depends on Ajit whether he wants to perform to be the best Meepo player.
All right. That was pretty stone cold. I don't think you revealed anything. Well done. All right. So, do you feel like you guys are kind of representing SEA Dota? I mean, you're probably one of the better teams now. You're out there. You have a pretty good shot at going home with this. How's that feel to be kind of on the top of your game here for SEA?
There's still MVP on the list, so hope to meet them on the next match and to prove that we are the best South Asia team in Boston Asia.
All right. Well, there we go. Okay, but will you be facing off against MVP or will you be facing off against OG? We're about to find out, buddy. Very excited to see the results of the next game, but back to you on the panel for now.
Will their opponents be OG or MVP? We will see. I'm a poet, and I know it. I hate that. I'm so sorry. I'm never doing that again.
That was really bad.
That was good. That's probably the worst thing I've ever said. Moving swiftly on and away from that one, we can bring up the scoreboard just to get rid of my embarrassment. This is, of course, a little embarrassing for Complexity because a second series win. WGU do it in 2. I can't stop. Somebody stop. Take this away from me before I keep rhyming.
Oh, I actually like it.
You just like it.
Can you do it? Can you do it all the way through?
What, the whole thing? I'm not Dr. Zeus.
What rhymes with Zeus? You know.
Well, loose. I
You
could have made a joke there.
This.
I didn't make a joke.
Take it away, Windsor.
What does stand out, though? I mean, Ben, in realistic terms, I mean, Complexity, we criticized their draft in the first game. When you come into the second, when you do see your Sand King Tree and Jugger, Mirana, Lifesteal, I mean, it looked better for them, right? The draft, it wasn't where that game was lost, or was it?
Nope. It's where Nana, as Winter would say, trashed them.
Yeah.
Trash.
Nana.
He was unstoppable in game number 1. He had Bloodstone and Pipe in 19 minutes. And that's an unheard of timing, really, in
that was the
competitive.
first, that was the
that was the first game.
And then he had Crimson the next game.
Yeah, Crimson and Bloodstone, despite having a pretty terrible start. And then I think that one play at the end where he just blinked on top of the Sand King. That also may be a reason why Luna is OP. She saw it because of the night vision range. And with Beastmaster kind of gone, Sark very weak, Night Stalker not really in too. It's very difficult to get vision in the team fights.
But I would like to say that I didn't really like the Lifesteal last pick there. Like, they already saw the LC. I mean, that was the only thing that I didn't really like. Like, the rest of the whole draft, the composition was really solid for coL. But, you know, unfortunately, at the end of the day, they didn't play so well in certain team fights, and they lost the more crucial team fights.
Well, maybe some of those team fights are going to be broken down for us, because Purge is standing by. Let's head over to him and see what he's got for us.
Yes, how's it going?
Good, man.
Pretty exciting game. A little unsurprising, but I think a lot of that did come down to the Timbersaw mid. That was pretty impactful. There really wasn't that many ganks early. They kind of tried. The Mirana would run around a little bit and go for kills, but eventually they'd get a double kill on the safe lane. That was one of the big gains that Complexity got at the start due to having the invis. So a decent start to their game, but the issue is their cores don't really farm as fast as heroes like Luna do, for example. So even if they did get some good kills like this, they had other ones like the fight on the top lane that resulted in a close call, to say the least. They just barely got the dual damage. Good AoE damage. They're able to chase down the Luna as well afterwards with the Jug, but at some stage you're going to get out-farmed if you don't go for something like a Mjolnir build or even something like a Battle Fairy build. Not very common on Jug, but occasionally is picked up. So just due to the late game farm and especially some ward vision in this last fight was extremely crucial, because the way that the fight started was much like the previous one. It was really just Sang can get initiated on by the duel, and that basically means no epicenter from him. He bought back later, but it really didn't do anything. He didn't get back to the fight in time. And Juggernaut as well was trying to swing up from the south side and ideally throw an Omni Slash on somebody like this guy so he could solo kill him, but it didn't really ever happen, just because by the time he approached, the rest of the fight had already gone bad. He spun to try to at least stop the Eclipse damage, but he just got out DPS, so we didn't really see any big damage sources coming out of coL, and that's on top of the fact that they're a little bit behind on farm already. So, you know, big observer wards on the cliff kind of changes everything, and that's why coL never really got back into it.
Couldn't claw their way back, purged there. Thanks very much, dude. And this is where, you know, we have to kind of remind everyone just how crazy. I'm going to use the word cutthroat again. I used it once with Gods and Odie.
It's okay.
It does feel like the right way to summarize it, right, Steve?
Yeah, I think so. I think we
I saw your tweet. I saw your tweet. You're like, I need to keep reminding myself, this is it.
You know, normally big events, TI, previous majors, you know, there's half of the day where people were playing in the upper bracket and half of the day where people play in the lower bracket, and you kind of get used to that rhythm. And I think I underestimated how much we actually get used to that rhythm, to seeing teams play again after they lose a series. But it's just, this is it. You know, there's no second chances. 2-0, you're out. 2-1, you're out as well. But yeah, it's amazing. And we talked about it before, that WG Unity, it is a Cinderella story, and they have been doing amazing. And they do come from all the qualifiers. We only know them from qualifiers. This is their first international tournament, and it's amazing to see them do it as well.
And they're in the quarterfinals.
They're in the quarterfinals.
From not even qualifying for events to being in the quarterfinals.
And I think I saw that their total career winnings as a team was 44K.
Wow.
And I think they're already at 125 right now.
Correct.
So, I mean,
just casually tripling your sum from one game of Dota. That is the beauty of the Boston Major, and there's so much more beauty to come as we're going to be seeing OG versus MVP after our break. Before we do go, though, we're going to be having a little look at what OG have been up to in their practice regime, trying to go ahead and lift that major trophy. We'll take a look, and when we come back, we'll be talking OG versus MVP.
Team OG has won 66% of majors. They're uncontested. Many wonder why. What gives them their power to be able to do this in such an interesting and dynamic way? I've heard a rumor that they have a special way of preparing. It is their boot camp for pre-majors.
Do you remember that item, huh? Do you remember that spell? It's a good spell. It's a great spell to use. And win your games. Keep using that spell.
Today, we've gained exclusive access to see just how they do it. Hopefully. Let's take it. All right, hello. Let's come inside. Here we go.
Another major.
Oh, hey. Oh, look, it's Fly. Hey, Fly, do you think I could join your pre-game boot camp here and get ready for the major?
You can definitely join for this one.
Okay, all right. Here we go. Are you ready?
You can do it. You're doing great, man. You're doing so good. Do it. That's the stuff.
Yeah!
28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. You're doing great.
No more.
Keep going. Hit him. Get him. Jump, invoke, jump, invoke, and jump, invoke, spells, invoke, jump, invoker, switch hero, what?
Okay, that's it. I did everything. I'm on OG now. I think I'm ready to win the major, man. This is really great.
There's one more thing, though.
What?
Everyone in OG has beaten me in an arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling?
Yeah.
All right, bitch, let's go.
Let's do it.
Go! Ah! You know, Puck's a good hero. Have you ever tried Omni Knight before? He's pretty good.
Coach.
Oh, God! Ah!
Next matchup, OG versus MVP Phoenix.